What up, everybody? Welcome back to the podcast. You're on Why We Serve. With me, as always, Benjamin Lake. I got a real special guest for us today. My longtime friend, buddy, pal, Gus Siebert. Gus,
Hello.
welcome to the podcast.
My brother from another mother.
Thanks for coming down, brother.
Happy.
You guys don't know, me and Gus, we've known each other since we were like little kids. Went to school around the same area, but
We rode the school bus together.
we haven't really seen each other a lot in a while, but it's always good. It's like every time me and him see each other, it's a good time. One of the reasons I love talking to you, Gus, is like all the shit we get into, like that. It's just deeper talks. I don't know. It's like
We've been there.
yeah, yes, dude. All these like, whether it's like metaphysical state of beings shit to like who's better, Eagles or Beatles, like whatever we want to talk about, it's always a good time. So you came all the way down from Jeff. I can't thank you enough.
Man, I'm happy to be here. You started it saying the good times. The first thing that comes to mind, all the good times wasted having good times.
Oh,
and
yeah.
that's what it comes down to that. You're my friend. We've been there, and it's just one person I could always come get down with, and it's we break that barrier. It's nice to be with when done your thing. You're back around you're what you know, and it's just good to be back around you.
Hell yeah, brother.
in the
Hell
place
yeah.
where it started,
It goes the same for you, man. We went off on a separate thing, and it's just we're back here.
Some things don't skip a beat.
No. If you could just describe, to everybody listening, because people might not know or whatever, just a little bit about, where you grew up, a little bit about your childhood, whatever you want to bring up, kind of to the point of, I guess your early 20s and stuff, like basically from childhood up to that point. Explain what was going down.
Well, in a time not so long ago, in a place not so far away, a lot of stuff happened in between those years. But, really I kind of started my school years here in Vienna, and I met some of my best friends like you that are still my friend today. And, you've had Vince on the podcast, you've had Fred on the podcast, all the people I could just name, where you're in the beginnings of it. You're going to get more of those people. And I'm happy to have been called for one of those people, and that's, you could count on me to be there for you on that.
Oh, yeah.
And, my story in Vienna started very early. I think I was here till about 4th grade. We weren't at the same school together.
No, I went to Catholic school.
No.
You were the badass public school kid, yeah.
We're in the public.
I just remember seeing you guys in, like, we did Boy Scouts, which was,
Yep.
like, a very loose term for what it was.
Yep.
But, like,
Yep.
I would see you at that stuff.
Well, yeah, I had met Vince in 4th grade. I would say that maybe that's a good place to start. A good story I have about Vince, just to bring it back maybe. I remember the day Vince came to school, and we were just sitting around. I think it was in Miss Sharp's class, if I'm not mistaken. And I had been told that Vince and me might have had family together, and we were kind of cousins or something.
Yeah.
And I kind of had that idea, which I don't know if that's necessarily the case, but, we're that close still.
Yeah.
I walked right up to Vince. I saw him sitting in his desk. I say, "Hey, man, looks like you like Dragon Ball Z. I also like Dragon Ball Z." And then I handed him a stack of magazines that Fred had introduced me to. And then the rest is history.
Yeah, dude. If there's one thing I know about you got the Goku socks on right now, and
Yeah.
Piccolo, bro.
Yep. Some things never change.
That was such like, it's such like a critical piece of our era of childhood, just because like everybody gets along. I didn't even like watch it that much as a kid. I watched it more in my teenage years.
Yep.
And it's just like a solid show,
Yeah.
and everybody loves it.
Yeah, I think what it brought me to was, we're just those kids that we kind of have that warrior of light kind of like spirit.
Mm-hmm.
And to be frank, a lot of us were raised on some very heavy morals,
Yes.
of what are you going to do? What are things going to happen? And we reciprocated that. And what's cool is that we've always been on that level of it comes right back. It comes right back. And Vince is, I keep saying him, but he's one of my best friends that, just like you. Right when I started talking his ear off, he started talking mine off. So,
Hmm.
and that was in 4th grade.
I heard a quote of like, if you're in a room of like 5 assholes, you're the 6th asshole.
Right.
But if you're in a room of 5 like warriors, you're probably the 6th warrior. Like,
Amen.
when you surround yourself with those people, like you're only gonna emit more of that, whether good or bad or a combo of both.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good thing.
Yeah. Hey, and one thing about assholes, they're brown, they're all full of shit, and we all have one. Excuse my language.
Oh, you're fine, dude. There's so many bad things said on here. You're good. You went from here to what, St. E? I didn't know if you directly went over there.
Really, we bounced around a while, me and my family. We bounced straight into near Belleville, up near Cape Girardeau.
Mm-hmm.
Not Bell, Missouri. But I did end up in Bell, Missouri at one point too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I did some school there. It was a great experience.
Yeah.
Did a lot of run around the streets, but basically we bounced straight to Belleville with some family, and we stayed there, started school after Missouri, and stayed there for some time. I think it was about a couple years maybe. And then we made the jump back to Vienna. There was one moment where we came back to Vienna.
Uh-huh.
And I was actually living in Jefferson City at the time. We
Oh,
had moved.
wow.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. We moved back and we were in Jefferson City, and my grandfather at the time, and God bless it, good people at Vienna, were letting us come back to the school.
Yeah.
'Cause you're not allowed to do that.
No, but that's okay.
Yeah, we came back. We weren't going to get back into the Jeff City School public system. We didn't know what we were doing. But so we kind of just jumped back into Vienna. And I think I never went to Vienna High.
No, I
don't. Mm-mm. So that was
because I went there all 4 years. I would have,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yep, that was very brief. That's how, and I don't know, like we're talking, I just said 4th grade. And then, it's so
Cycle,
crazy.
yeah.
Brief. And I think it didn't work out in Vienna again. That wasn't going to work out. So we ended up in Bell.
Okay.
And we were living in Bell for a while. And we actually stayed in Bell for, I'd like to say, a couple years. Because I still have some people I know from Bell. I had went to the school there, been a part of the school. And that was probably like 5th and 6th grade year.
Mm-hmm.
And I just kind of remember getting into BMXing and skateboarding kind of there. It was where I wouldn't say skateboarding started in Bell. Skateboarding started in Vienna still.
Yeah.
And biking. You probably know some of the people I can say without naming how
Oh,
big
yeah.
the
I
bicycles
remember,
were here.
yeah.
People were building the
It
chopper
was
bikes.
Yeah.
You know,
You remember,
everyone-
was his name Bobby Soper?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. I just ran into a homie at the park the other day, and I didn't have to say 2 things, and he was like, "Oh yeah, man." He's like, and I was like, "Now look at us,"
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
here.
I remember the bikes were like, because I mean,
Scene.
I was still at Catholic school, so like I just saw it and I was like, man, that's kind of badass. All those
Yeah.
kids riding around on little bikes. and
Everyone
stuff.
loves it. That's what
Yeah.
I mean. Bicycling's a big thing. Like back in the day, I remember doing the whole 9 yards. Strip the bike down, WD the chain.
Oh yeah.
Spray paint.
You got to figure out how to get the chain back on by rolling it.
All learned that very early.
Yes. Yes.
And then, but yeah, I remember going to Bell and having a little skate crew, but getting really into bicycling because we had a lot of freedom. I always like to say that about my childhood. I had a lot of freedom.
Oh,
A lot
yes.
of freedom to do what I wanted. I did have some structure. It wasn't necessarily brought on me, but I just kind of had an idea of right from wrong and an idea of freedom. Didn't have to worry about the lights going on at night and have to come home.
No, I don't think we're like I wouldn't call it latchkey kids, because it wasn't like our parent. Like my mom was home and stuff,
Mhm.
but it's like they just like were like, we trust you, go play,
Yeah.
like for a long time,
yeah.
do whatever. We were talking about at work, and I'm sure you can attest to this too. We used to go in the woods with like a BB gun or a 22, just walk around
Yeah.
for hours. And I'm like, I would never let my kids do that now. Yeah. Look what I got,
Loving
Mom.
it.
It's like 4 squirrels. You're like, what the fuck is wrong with
All
you?
the birds.
Dude, and I was real quick. My dad was like, here, take this. It's a BB gun. I'm like, can I shoot a bird? He's like, yeah. Yeah. He had friends over, so he's like, yeah, go play. I go out of the woods. First thing, bird like from here to that tree over there. It's like 20 yards.
Yeah.
Shoot it. Bird goes.
Yeah.
I go grab it. I take it to my dad. He's like, what the fuck? And I hold it up. It's a woodpecker.
Yeah.
You're not even supposed to shoot him. Yeah. I was like, I'm sorry. I didn't know. It's a BB gun.
Didn't have to worry about killing the mockingbird.
Yeah.
It probably happened on accident.
But it's crazy. We look back and we thought it was normal. Everybody was just running around doing shit. And now you're like Vienna's still pretty safe, but everywhere else you're like,
yeah.
I'm not
I just
letting
took a
kids
little
walk
trip right before I came here. I took a little trip around Vienna town. I always like to do that.
Yeah.
Shout out Vienna High. The track looks good.
Yes.
That made my heart beat. I'm a big track boy. And yeah, coming back to this town, it's great to see that track looking how it looks now, because I've seen a lot of people run it when it was dirt.
Dude, I skinned my knee on the freaking the hurdles on the asphalt.
Yeah.
It looks great now.
Whole different trip, which
Yes.
is good to see that, just to bring it back. But yeah, I would say that freedom comes into a big part with our lives, and with your parents, it's right there. It's apple don't fall far from the tree. But we're definitely a little bit of a different cut, but
Yeah.
it's good.
No, but the morals and stuff, it's all sitting there solid.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. There was a point also. Well, in Bell, I had my friends in Bell, and then we had done about a year in Owensville. So I went to Owensville for a while, and that's not very known. I still have some friends
wow.
I knew from Owensville.
Yeah. Did you like it out there?
It was cool. It was a
Yeah.
cool trip, because when I moved from Bell, oddly enough, a friend of mine had made the move exactly when we did. So I got lucky, and it was the kid I used to draw with. Like, I used to draw all the time, like all that all over my math problems and homework and stuff that I should have been doing.
Yeah.
But I did art, which is awesome. But I had moved, and the first day that kid was there, so it was kind of really interesting. Like, we were just like, "Oh, you moved? I moved too." Well, now we're stuck at the hip now. Well, we lived there for about a year, and then I think in that year is when we decided to make the jump to Jeff City. And I started my 6th grade year at Lewis and Clark.
Okay.
And then I went Lewis and Clark through 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, and got really into track and football around that time. Vienna was also, can't mention Vienna, Vienna football. Everyone's going to hear that. I remember signing the petition that was going around.
Yeah, they wanted
4th,
it to
5th
start
grade.
right. Yeah.
Wanted to happen again. Well, Jeff City gave me that opportunity.
How was that? Because I never got that chance. How was football, like coming from towns like this to go play?
Yeah. Humbling.
Yeah.
Very humbling.
Yeah.
There's some big 6th graders up in Jeff City. There's some boys that were, we're tough. We're country tough. But yeah, you get up there.
They're
like
just brick shit houses, dude.
It's like that 8 seconds, quote, "The bull don't care."
Yeah.
Like, and the boys are big.
8
and
seconds,
they're,
bro.
They're raised on that.
Yeah.
Like, straight up. But yeah, it was a good experience. I was C team. I have a really cool picture of me running some waters out to the homies. And yeah, everyone loved me. My favorite number is 33. That was my jersey number. I still remember that. I got that picture. But it was a really cool experience. I had a real cool coach. He knew we were underprivileged kids.
Yeah.
Because we'd get, I'd have to sit and wait, and I was always the last one there.
Man, you remember just waiting to get picked up?
Yep.
That shit sucks, dude.
That kid. But that kid often defines a lot more stuff. Time to kind of reflect, and, you get a lot of time to think.
Yeah, you have a lot of time in your head.
Yeah. Damn. But yeah, it was a good time. My brother Johnny, he's really good. He's really good at football. John's just naturally gifted, kind of, at anything, I'd like to say. And
Johnny was naturally gifted. Every
always,
fucking thing he did, he was so good
everything.
at.
And still to this day.
Yeah.
I was like, But yeah, he played football also in the middle school. And the thing is when you're in middle school, you got a few different schools to go to in Jeff City. And it's
Mhm.
not middle school; they were in elementary still.
Oh yeah, yeah,
And he had got to make the jump to LC with me one year, but we were separated for a while
yeah,
because I would take the bus early. He would go to elementary with Coco and Cece, Jesse, and Sierra.
yeah.
And basically, he had a coach by the name of Coach Tucker. I don't know his name no more. I don't know his full name. But he was just a really awesome dude. One of those guys I still remember to this day. He would pick us up. He started calling. He saw John one day. John was like, he's like, "What do you want to do, Johnny? What do you want to do?" He's like, "I want to run the ball. I want to run the ball." And he was like, "You know what? Okay, Johnny, you want to run the ball? I'm going to give you the ball." And yeah, from that day on, he was known as Johnny 5. Yeah. And that, it's people like that. I like to say those coaches. I had a coach, Coach Kashwender. He was I don't know what he does now, but he was my track coach. He gave me a big opportunity. It was the 8th grade year. There were some guys that, twice my size, I'm sure they're Olympics. Like they're amazing guys, so
Yeah.
fast. And one guy had gotten hurt, and it was I can't remember the name of the event, but it was basically when we'd go against Thomas Jefferson.
Mhm.
And it was like the big, like, oh, TJ versus LC day.
Yeah.
And that guy got hurt, and he was just like, Gus, I know you're quick, and you know how to turn left, so you're going to run the 4x4. And lo and behold, my late uncle, George Siebert, he passed away. He was from this area. But he was a big 400 runner. I'm not sure if his records are still at Vienna High or not. I haven't been there.
Yeah.
But they probably, they might be gone. But, because, yeah, there's a lot of fast guys in Vienna.
Yeah, man, especially for the 400.
Mm-hmm. He was known as the Flamin' Main. But basically, I felt like that was my calling. I always wanted to run the 400 for him.
Yeah.
And I got that day, and I got the jump right into relay, and I ran a relay with these guys, and it just sparked my fire for track ever since then. And then things happened in life, and that's when we ended up moving to St. Elizabeth.
Okay.
We moved to St. Elizabeth right before I was going to go to Simonson. Simonson's now gone. That was the 9th grade center.
Oh,
in
okay. I
Jefferson
never heard
City.
about that one. Yeah.
Yep, it's gone. It was around a long time, but it's gone now, and that's where I was going to end up going. And so I went from Jeff City, which is, big school,
Yes.
getting ready to go into Simonson, to St. Elizabeth. And when we went to St. Elizabeth, it was summer. I don't, some
What, about 07, 08?
yeah,
something like that?
right around then. Right
Yeah.
around then. Perfect. And, yeah, I remember going from like 400 people in my class to 14. And that was kind of humbling.
There were only 14 in your class?
Yep, 14.
Damn, man.
Yep, 4 girls and the rest guys, kind of deal. And
Yeah.
and St. Elizabeth has grown a lot. Their classes vary, too.
Yeah,
But it's still
yeah.
very small, very small.
Yeah.
Vienna, it grew. I remember, how it was A and B.
It's still pretty small, but I
Mhm.
think they vary in amount of kids. I mean, when I graduated, it was 40,
Yeah.
but I
yep.
know some classes were 60,
Mhm.
and then some have been like 35.
Yep.
It stays around that number.
Yeah. And yeah, God bless St. Elizabeth. Like that community, being a part of that, it's one of the schools I still go to today, and you just see how much people care there. They really
It's a family.
They try to go get that stuff for those kids, and that school's great.
Yeah.
But yeah, I went there. I had a little bit of a gusto coming from a big school to a small school, but I was still nervous. I was so scared. Like I was like, I'm not gonna fit in. All this stuff, all the 9
Yeah.
yards. I was proven wrong. I found my place.
Oh,
with
yeah,
some
dude.
good friends, and
Yeah.
lo and behold, we ended up crossing paths. I
Oh,
got to be
yeah,
at
dude.
events. Everything worked out perfect.
I remember, I can't remember I don't know if it was at a party or what, but I just remember it was like Johnny and Gus Siebert, and I go, I fucking know that.
And yeah,
Holy shit!
it's the same thing when I
Yes.
heard Ben and Vince.
Yeah.
Where at?
What's up? What? Oh, we'll take a break real quick. All right, guys, we took a nice little break there for a minute, but me and Gus got to catch up about a lot of shit. We'll dive back in. Gus, you were kind of you got to St. E, so I'll let you take the wheel.
You're right. Yeah, made it to St. Elizabeth, Missouri. Population 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, yeah.
No, it's
It's
great.
small in Vienna, right? Yeah.
Just a little bit. It's grown. Um, been down there. Like I said, me and my brother do air duct cleaning. We got the privilege and got to be a guest in the school and clean the whole system for the school before the new year starts. And that's a great community. I can't touch on that enough. And that's kind of where the story began. I could say with skating, kind of losing that. I think I was going from we went from Jeff City, the city, quote unquote, to coming down here to St. Elizabeth, not here, but and being a little afraid of losing that metropolitan kind of like being able to skate, going to the country or going doing stuff in the country.
Yeah.
But yeah, the country gives you good roots. I luckily had a place to plant some roots, and that's what happened, And then like I said, my past life before that, being blessed, knowing you, all my friends, everyone was home, and that's what's great. I got to come back, and it was not skipping a beat.
Yeah.
And we picked up all new again.
Yeah, dude. Would you for that transition, right? You said it was a little easier, you found friends and everything, which was great. And me, I went a little different. I wasn't from none of my family's from here, obviously. And then I went to Catholic school and then public school, which is it's similar, not the same, but it's different. Me and you found our niche. We were able to make friends in plentiful, Um, but that's not always the case for new kids. Would you say that's a major problem out here, or is it just the way it is, or what would you say about it?
It's one thing, like you said, I was lucky to have my friends, and I have siblings, and we're all really close. But yeah, sometimes you don't feel that close because there's a lot of families around here that are already really rooted.
Oh, sorry. We gotta guess.
Double eggs?
My daughter's showing us double eggs from our chickens. Yeah.
Got the farmers. That's
good.
awesome.
Oh, we got 4. Yeah, that's good.
Hey, with bread you can make eggs in basket.
Ooh, eggs in a basket, dude.
Good.
So good.
Yep.
Yeah. Eggs in a basket.
Shout out Uncle Corby.
We used to eat those all the time, man. In Colorado,
Yep.
eggs in a basket.
That's a good one to have.
Yeah.
That's what it made me think though.
Sorry. Anyway.
But yeah, I would say it's kind of you feel a little bit outsiderish. Luckily, I liked sports. Like I said, I had a lot of sports coming from Jeff City that I was like, oh, I don't get to do football no more.
Yeah.
What am I gonna do? I've never played baseball. And I was scared to play basketball because everyone's so good at basketball.
Yeah.
And I didn't know nothing.
Yeah, St. E had good team that when we were there.
They're real good. And I never played basketball. I'll say that. I did try to play baseball. I could run fast.
Yeah.
That was what was good. But I was in left field a lot. And but besides that, it can be really intimidating for a young man or a young woman coming to a town like that if you don't have those things.
Yes.
But luckily, like I said, that community was super welcoming to my family. I have nothing but good things to say about that community. That community gave me the roots I needed. And it was open arms and open hearts. And, that's a double-edged sword sometimes because you have that, but it also takes too because there's all kinds of people out there. You'll learn different things, but you learn that's just because they have very strong roots. And, that's what I mean. I have nothing but good things to say about that. But for any other kid that could be struggling out there, just really try to find your place and don't be too afraid. It's hard growing up and it's a scary thing growing up, but there's definitely people out there that want to help and want to be your friend. And, everyone's not blessed with being able to be so open.
I think it stuff now is kids today are not focused on the stereotypical, well, is he or she good at sports or no? Because if not, now people love intelligence. They love like this type of stuff, content creation, you know, if
Yep.
they're making good TikToks and stuff
Yep.
like that, I think that gets you a little bit of clout in the schools. Maybe
Mhm.
not with the parents, but with the
You can
other
be the
kids.
cool kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially if, you're just into you're just, you know how to make the cool stuff and you like doing it. You can
Or
be
you
the
can
loner.
find the good stuff, you
Yeah, you
know?
can find it. And you kind of, you got to be weary of that, obviously. There's stuff you got to
Yeah.
watch out for. But we all
Yeah.
learn. I've had stuff like that told to me my whole life, too. And, it's just got to have good stuff around you.
When you're instilled, like you said, with those good morals and values, or you at least understand what's right and wrong in the world, you can work through that, you know?
Mm-hmm. One thing I hear sometimes, I work at the Boys and Girls Club, and I do part-time work there. That's become a major part of my life. And like we were talking on the little break, it's a lot like when I had the blessing of doing A+ program in high school, where you go student teach.
Oh, I didn't know you did that. We didn't get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and going through that, that led me into college, luckily, because I got it.
Yeah.
But really, I remember getting to work with the kindergarten class there, and going back to the Boys and Girls Club, it's one of those things, you hear good kid, bad kid. In my eyes, there's no good, there's no good kid, bad kid. There's no
No.
bad kid for sure. It's just someone that needs a little more attention, or, just needs something that there a lot of creative people feel a lot, and a lot of times it's real hard to feel so much, and that's what you see a lot of kids nowadays that just have a lot of feelings in them, and
There's so much going on.
they don't
There's
know.
so much happening.
And they look at us, and really we grew up right in the cusp of that time.
Yeah.
So it's really cool that we can be those people if we want to be. That doesn't mean you have to be. No one writes a book on this stuff. So that's like a very big part, I feel like, is just having.
That's the part I hate, is that people do write books on it. And
You
I'm like, there's no way of understanding if how a kid's gonna be. You know,
Mhm.
like you can try,
Yeah.
but everyone's different, and some kids need a bunch of attention. Some kids don't. Some kids need you to be tough with them, and some kids don't. You see me. I'm
Yeah.
wrangling a basketball team in here, and each of my kids is different in how I deal with them, and I struggle every day with it. Like, it is.
Bless you, man. That's awesome. Yeah.
I appreciate it, brother. It's so hard though. So like, for anyone to go into a classroom and be like, "That's a bad kid," it's like, no, they probably just need to work with
Yeah.
a little better.
Yeah.
They're a kid.
Yeah. And that's what I mean. I hold you guys and anyone that I know, especially the kids that are there and their parents. I'm yet to be blessed with that in my life. One day.
Yeah.
So it be whatever it may be.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely blessed with it. I've got plenty of people in my life like that. But when you hear parents like that, and everyone's learning their own way. And a lot of times, any kind of parenting you see nowadays, you just see the strong bonds. You see strong bonds. You see people. Everyone's the same. Like, everyone doesn't know. You can't say you really know what's up.
Yeah.
Like, you just kind of just bring your heart to the table, and this is the best thing you can do.
Yeah.
And I see that just sitting here, I pulled up here and I knew this is Ben's Lake's house. Like, the love is in the air.
That and trash and some bikes laying around. Yeah, it's here. No, I appreciate it, man. We're trying.
Listen to the music.
What would you say the most? Because I didn't know her very well, but your mother, I knew her when I did talk to her. She was an angel. What was the best thing she instilled in you as a child that you take with you now, that like you take to heart?
You ain't got to lie to kick it.
Yeah.
Yeah, straight up.
Just be real.
I heard her words in the back of my head there.
Yeah. I love it.
That's what I mean. And you better you better have a sandwich with them chips.
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
But really, just being real. Be weird, be real, be who you are, and don't pass that judgment on to other people. Try your best. You're not going to be the best at it, but you can be real, and real recognizes real. You don't ever have to worry about that, and love reciprocates like that. Like, I've never had anyone wish harm or anything like that, or even my friends, family, or foe. You could say we all have that that great, like, you know, we're all doing the right things for each other as long as you can keep it real. And it's really, I can say, and I'm sure everyone knows that my mom, Misty Smith, rest in peace, you know, she's very much a person that could keep it real with anyone, and she always rooted for the underdog. That's what I was really instilled on. And you know,
I think you and your brothers or your sister have such a good bullshit meter of like, you know, people that are true, and that's who you levitate towards.
right.
And those ones that are clowning or not being true to themselves, you're like, no, don't come around here.
And even those, you know, even those people, like, that's what growing up, you go through that. You go through it through school, whatever school you're going. It was whether it's St. Elizabeth, whether it's Jeff C. High, 400 to 14, you're gonna go through that. But if you stick to you and you know, you're real, even those people that try to tread on you, you know, later in life, you're going to see how much you still love each other. Like, you really you shared that common bond, and you filled those purposes for each other. And that's what I have people that, you know, I see now that it's hard to say, like, how our relationship was growing up, but it's really awesome now.
Yeah.
Because we got to just be so real. And yeah, it's a great thing. Like, I can tell you firsthand experiences, they look back on the same stuff and they're just so stoked. Like, they're just happy, and, you know, you can say apologies and whatever, you know, however you feel, but it's cool that you can be able to not just apologize or something you feel bad for, but it's like, hey, look at us now. Look at us now. Like,
yes.
Like that meme or whatever. He's like, look at us.
Look at us. Look at us.
That's how it's like. And it's
Not
cool
me.
with that. That's what I say. Just keep it like that. Even if you got to just keep it real with them still, and that wall's there, you know, that it's respect. And it's like, respect thy neighbor, you know. It's like, it's just respect. And it's like, that makes you a wholesome person.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I feel that.
So you got, you know, you're in high school, you're going through all this. What were your plans, your initial plans, I guess, for after high school? Because I'll tell you right now, me and you, I'm pretty sure we both had way different plans than how life turned out for us.
Yeah, man. Oh my goodness, life was coming 100 miles a minute, and I've only got 2 feet, no car, no nothing. I had a skateboard.
Yes, yes.
I've heard some things back in the past where, you know, I'm luckily to have been someone that wanted to chase college. I really wanted to chase college really bad. Something in me was like, you know, I don't know if I'm going to go to college, but I'm going to go. Like, It was like, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know how, but I'm going to be there, and I wanted to be there. I don't even think it was necessarily something that I was chasing my educational pursuits or wanting to be something, because what I went to college for, I'm definitely not. I've got some things that I went for that are still with me today, but honestly, it was something that pulled me towards just wanting to go home and go hit the road and go meet those people. And I heard it one time in a video where it's like I was really intimidated about who I was going to meet because I moved right away. I moved, and I didn't go to MSU. I didn't go to Mizzou.
You went to St. Charles, right?
It was Jefferson College in Hillsboro, Missouri.
Jefferson College, okay.
And yeah, they're a little bit apart, but
yeah,
it was a 4-year institution for a long time, and it's got a real good rep. And it's a 2-year university, and it's still doing really well. It's a great college.
It's a good college, yeah.
It's cool. And I lived on the dorms there.
It's in Hillsboro, which is like a
tiny.
Yeah.
I'd say it's like Vienna size.
Yeah.
Like, not even a joke. And I'm sure it's grown. Our biggest town is Festus, right near there. We'd go eat Chinese there. And I'd say it was like kind of like Eldon size. Like, you kind of go there, it's like, okay, this is a bigger city. Maybe even bigger than Jeff City. It's misquote me, you know, it's definitely big. Yeah. But yeah, I went there. I didn't know no one. I had no friends. I was like sitting in my room thinking, like, what have I done? I went out into the great wide open.
That's scary, dude.
Clue.
It's scary.
Yeah. And, you know, luckily, Lord or whoever, you know, blessed be, I got roomed with the RA there. My good buddy, John McWhorter. We're still friends to this day. I got him on the face page. But yeah, he was the RA, and yeah, I was the kid that got there. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I was a little arty. I was a little on my own. I had my girlfriend at the time that I was still kind of bound to back home and stuff like that. So I had things that would keep my mind like, home, I need to be back home, 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 home. But yeah, that wasn't going to happen with the group of friends I got roomed with because, yeah, I got my door knocked on and said, hey, come on out, Gus, let's hang out. And I just got on that real level again. I went out, and I'm the kind of person that I try to wear my heart on my sleeve in a way, in an open way. So I went and hung out, and I got down with them. Like I said, there's the RA, so we knew everyone. Everyone knew him, and we had
Hell
a good
yeah.
time.
Hell
Nothing but
yeah.
love. And yeah, I was roomed with another really good buddy, Bobby. He's an awesome dude. Helped me out a lot. Still around. And I've got another buddy, Spencer. Spenskis. If he's listening, he knows who he is. Love you, dude. And yeah, he's the one. We'd go out skating. We'd skate, skate, skate. And that brings me back to that point where, I was that kid that I didn't even really bring my board with me. But I was really afraid about my friends. But it was something where, if you're worried about meeting friends, that skateboard opened that door for me.
Yeah.
I had no worry, and that skateboard led me to the people that organically helped me be who I was still.
Absolutely.
And then I learned from them too, because I went and did everything else but skateboard.
Yeah, yeah.
But that's what I mean. Luckily, I had good people. Somehow, I got put in a place where I was even very shy. One thing people don't know about me, I did cheerleading there.
Oh yeah, you told me
I
about
was
that.
a big
Yeah.
cheerleader. We went to a national comp. Everyone on that cheerleading team I'm still friends with today. They've all started families in their own ways, and everyone's doing great as far as I know. And it was one of those situations where it's like, here we are. We're the Jeffco cheerleaders.
Yeah.
And it was like, yeah, we were, our basketball team was tough. Jefferson College's, they have a girls basketball team, and they're tough. They're awesome. And they killed it.
Yeah.
And we'd go there as the cheerleading squad, and we were just as tough. Like, we were a tough bunch. I had one of my good buddies, Cody. He was there. We met skating. He was into parkour.
Ooh, hardcore.
And, yeah, he knew, and I knew, and I was like, yeah, man, I like to do flips. I like to do that. And he was like, well, let's go to the gym. He's like, have you ever heard of the cheerleading squad? And I was like, no. He's like, well, they got a padded room. And I was like, oh, really? And so we'd go there, and we'd learn stunts. And, yeah, we got to the point where we were stunting. We were the stunt guys. We were the lighter guys. I've got some stuff where I learned a lot of different techniques.
All the flips and stuff, right?
Yeah, and even getting to where I was working out more with some of the big guys that were the throwers, and I got to learn how to do chair to hands, all the fundamentals. And I had a really great coach, Dave Crump. He was very close in religion. He'd take us some places, and I wasn't too receptive to that back then.
Yeah.
But looking back on it now, it's it's those fundamentals and the great foundation that he laid. And yeah, it's crazy thinking about it now. We just meant so much to each other. One of my favorite stories, we went to Kansas City, and we were right across from Arrowhead Stadium, and we were staying in this hotel, and it was like the budget hotel, where a whole Jeffco cheerleading team's there. And we were just all hanging out, waiting for our stuff, and we all just started singing Brown Eyed Girl. And it was like the funniest thing where everyone just knew that song. And then all of a sudden all of us were just singing it, hanging out, being kids, and everyone's just loving it. And that's just, that's what I mean. Luckily, Jeffco, or just wanting to go into college, it led me into those organic relationships with people, because I wanted to be real. I wanted to, I never had that opportunity to go practice gymnastics or learn something. And then when I heard cheerleading, I was like, what? I'm going to have to cheer? I don't know about that, but I learned a lot, and it took me just being vulnerable to learn that. And we don't really come from a place where you be vulnerable.
No, not at all.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
guards up.
I remember you used to talk about that, and I was always like, at first I was like, cheerleading, but then you explained it, and you're like, you make sense of it to where it's like, oh yeah, it's another sport. It's another type of sport.
Mm-hmm.
It's great.
Yep, sugar and spice, everything nice. Yeah. It's awesome, and that's what it was really fun. That's all I can say. And anyone out there wants to get into it, you're gonna have a good time, and you can go to college for it. You can get into it, and you can pay your way. Yep. And
I hope America's past that. I think where it's dudes are looked down on sometimes for doing those different types of sports, but I'm like, as my kids get older, I'm like, that type of stuff builds flexibility, endurance, like all this stuff. I'm like, it's literally just like every other sport. It's just different. Like,
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. And if you're into it, I was just into parkour. I was the kid that liked to skate, and I liked parkour. And then I was like, oh, I see people that do flips, and I wanted to learn a little more.
Hell yeah.
And it's fun. That's all good memories. But that definitely I guess the pivotal point of that would be like you saying driving to getting to college or something. It was still that search for the people, and I
Right.
didn't have to search. Luckily, I didn't
Yeah.
have to search.
I think the hard part with college is like you get there with this idea of like, I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna do something, and then you get there and you're like, man, I don't know if that's what I want to do. Like, and then you're like, well, shit.
Yeah.
And for me, I don't. You may know some of it about me. I got kicked out of college, but like, the lessons I did learn in college did not come from school. The times I went, but the people you talk to are what make your life a thing. Like, it's so important
Worth it.
to figure out other people and their aspects, and you build yourself from that of like, okay, that's how they do it. I'm gonna maybe figure out some shit about myself, or I don't like that. I'm gonna keep to how I function, because I think that's a stronger value.
Yeah, you bring that to the table, dude. Yeah. You definitely do every time. Even when we were in college, Dad, I didn't finish MSU.
Yeah.
I never finished, but you got the dropouts keeping kids in school now.
Yeah.
That's how it goes, and that's what's cool. That can be cool. That's Kanye West, but
yeah.
You can
definitely
you can do that like any day, and you do that. You definitely instill that. Education. You care about it in a way.
Dude, I'm a year out from my bachelor's in history right now.
Right on,
I'm right there.
Breaking kudos. Kill that.
I love it, and I'm glad I picked a degree. A lot of people in the Army, they pick go that route. However useful it is, I want to pick something that I enjoy, and that I'm like, if I'm gonna do this, I got to do something for me, not just to please people.
Rock and roll, dude.
And I'm glad it. While it may not serve me immediately, it's something that I can take away and use for other stuff, especially military-wise. History is a big thing, but even with these talks with people, I'm able to bring up these references. So I understand, college is not perfect, and I would never. Now I think us too, when we were kids, college was pushed so hard.
Took the words out of my mouth. Yep.
It's so hard, man. Everybody was like, go to college, go get a degree, and do that. And I think it is. People are veering away from that. Try trade school.
Yep.
Try something online. Try all these other things.
There's a lot of good stuff out there.
Yes, dude. So much that you can make 6 figures, or you can build a stable income off of the beginning and work your way to something better.
Do it your way.
Do it something you love or enjoy at least.
Yep. And that's straight up. I know I have a lot of buddies that even, took it young in life, or anyone, and it takes being able to do it. You got to be vulnerable at points. You got to do it.
Yeah.
And don't forget that either, stick by what you know, because that's what led you there in the first place, really.
Right.
It really did. Yeah, that's straight up. It definitely was pushed in a little way.
Yeah. It sucks, but it got us where we are, so I'm not mad about it.
Yep, amen.
So you got, you did Jeffco. What you left Jeffco, right?
Yep,
you did your 2 year there, right?
I graduated
Associates?
2013, got my associates in graphic design and art history. I got a little art history in me. And then I went to Springland.
Yeah, that's when I remember I hit you up, or you hit me up or something, and you were moving down there because Gus was down there at that point, right?
John.
Or John.
You got
I'm
it.
sorry. Yeah. Tom, Dick, Harry, Larry, Moe.
Same.
Yeah. He was down there already, and you were like, "Dude, I'm coming down." I was like, "Yeah."
My brother Johnny was down there, and we, it's gonna be. We linked up. We got an apartment together.
I remember that apartment.
Legendary, known as the Brotel.
Yes. Yes.
Wrap your mind around that. But, we went down there. We were doing our thing. I was not skating. at that time.
You guys really weren't, right?
Not
then.
much. I was definitely had my board, but I was not as much.
Yeah.
And that's what we were down there. I was pursuing art. And doing our thing, doing all the things you're just trying to do as a young man. I was probably I don't even think I had.
You
I think I
no,
turned
you're
21
probably
down there.
21 or something,
Yeah,
right?
just moved down there and had you guys around. We jumped in, Phi Mu. I wasn't a part of the Phi Mu
Yeah,
Alpha
but you were
clique,
there.
but I was there, and I got to hang around some of the best people and got to know everyone. And
Yes.
luckily, that's a music scene. So,
Shout out. I don't talk about this very much. I guess I never even brought up the podcast.
Right.
I was in Phi Mu Alpha for about 2 years.
Mhm.
I missed that.
Yeah,
It was a
man.
great bonding experience with the
Yeah, I was
music.
never in it. I was felt it with you
Right,
guys.
it was music entitled dudes that like a lot of them
I
were
hope
music.
they're doing it
but
like they did it.
I don't know, man. I don't know because it was
Anyone
hard,
listening?
but it was a great experience, and
Yep.
I had so many friendships. I drifted away from that when I joined the military,
Yeah, man.
but they also instilled values of being good to people. Most of those guys, like 90% of them, pushed values of like being friendships to other, and I don't. It was that. I mean, the music was a big part of it. We had to sing and stuff, and that was a whole other thing. But like, the music was a deeper meaning. They used to.
Yeah.
There was this time where we sat in a room and listened to music with the lights off, and it was this. People picked songs that meant shit to them,
Wow.
and they were so fucking deep. I still remember Montezuma by Fleet Foxes. You ever listen to them?
Mm-mm.
This very alternate. I don't even know what to call it. It was an indie alternative band that very musically inclined, but
It's cool.
the emotions you feel off music sometimes are just so deep.
Yeah.
Because me and you are used to like hearing. I mean, here's a random one. What's the most emotionally empowering song from your childhood?
That's heavy. I don't know, man. There's a lot of good music.
Yeah, I'm
there.
trying to think of some.
I was thinking about it on the way down because, like I said, I wasn't coming to the Ben Lake podcast without talking music.
We got to create a
eventually.
music here.
Yeah.
We're gonna dive into it. I just wanted to get the backstory of Gus, but
If I could say any, not really young, but when I was in St. Elizabeth, funny enough, and it made me cry the other day hearing it on the radio. Our class song was, I believe, not Garth Brooks, I don't know if it's Tim McGraw.
Okay.
Sorry, it's like all the
solid.
same.
No, yeah.
But
it's
it
all
was
the same.
him
Yeah.
and one other guy, and it was my best friend. That was one of them.
Oh.
That was not my pick.
Yeah.
And I didn't even have a pick. I was like, oh God, it's gonna be country because I was I don't know how I felt about it. I love it now. I'm not hating. But someone in the class had "Dream On." They brought that on.
All these lines on my face.
Yeah.
Getting clear.
Oh my gosh, dude, that song I heard it the other day, and yeah, "Dream On."
Deep song, dude.
Dream On.
People don't realize that song is so powerful.
Dream On. Yeah.
And it's a builder too.
Yeah, I love it. And that's one I remember. I'm blessed to have that as my senior class song. I got 2 senior classes songs.
Yeah. Dude, ours, and I'll look at both the guy that sang it. Ours was "Tattoos on This Town" by Jason Aldean,
Nice.
which we talked about it on the break. Tattoos on This Town.
That.
Dude, you leave a mark, whether
Yep.
you want to or not. People know you because I moved back and people remember me, and they, it's a thing. But I also remember "Flyover States."
Nice.
Because after traveling a bit, being around the world, man, you talk to people that are not from here. That's all we are. Is flyover states, but there's a whole lot more happening here. This area is what makes the world grow.
Yeah. Yep. And that's what I don't know how it meant to me back then.
No.
But it just definitely.
Back then you're like, what the? Okay, I guess that's it.
Yeah, it was good. And that's I can definitely say that those are really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Music I always hear it's a language spoken everywhere, just like laughter. It's just something.
Yeah.
Some stuff is funny everywhere.
Yes.
It's just funny. Like I think on The Hangover when the monkey's doing the little touchy to himself, everyone starts laughing, and he's like, "It's funny to everyone." It's like that's true. It's like stuff is just funny. Music is like that. Music is really funny because it goes with everyone, and that's like skating. I could say skating has that. Like skating, I always hear from like videos I watch. People like I travel the country, and wherever I go with this, it's the same language. It's the same thing. But music, I heard that first. Music is definitely.
I like
goes
music
with
a lot better.
everyone.
Yeah.
It transcends everyone, time, space, and it can.
Because humor's a little tougher because
Yeah.
there's a lot of things, nuances and stuff to
Yeah.
it. But I see with music, I can, if you put on a banger, if you put on, we were talking about Queen, you know, we will rock
Yeah.
you. Boom, boom, clap.
It's
Boom, boom, clap.
yeah.
Everyone loves it. They were
Yeah.
playing sold out stadiums everywhere with that shit.
Yep.
Like, it's beautiful,
It
man.
is. It is. And that's, we are the champions. Like,
Yes.
we will rock
Yes.
you. It's like, yeah, it's about it.
There's a dude. I don't know if I can play music on here. I'll play it to you later. There's a dude I found. His name's Larry Fleet, and country dude, real Southern roots kind of guy. His song's called "Working Man," and Danielle sings it to me all the time.
Nice.
And dude, it almost I'm driving to work at 3 a.m. and dude's talking about, I get up, coffee before everybody's up. I go to work. I come home. I say goodnight to the kids.
Real deal.
I do it all over. He's like, I know you're tired. I know you're hurting. I know you're beat down and alone. Bills to pay, the smiling faces, waiting on you at home. I can't remember the rest of the lyrics perfect, but ain't it working man?
Yep.
And I'm like, that speaks to so many fucking people of like, you've seen the clips of that new guy, right? Rich Man in Richmond, Oliver Anthony. You heard that dude?
Maybe.
Because people were talking about the Jason Aldean one. Try that in a small town. It's like, come on, okay, calm down. Like, it's whatever. This dude, he's talking about, the rich guys know everything. My point being with the music, it speaks on a level that a speech and stuff doesn't. Like, it hits people.
Transcends.
Yes.
Yep. That's where, and I could say, it'd been nice to be a music major because that's what we were around.
Yes.
I was around a lot of music majors. Let me just say it. Dakota Williamson. That was he's
Storyteller.
my best friend, Storyteller 417. Shout out, check him out. He's on it still. He'll be on it forever. And Johnny Siebert, my brother, they are both on Phi Mu Alpha along here with Ben. And I stumbled into there because I wanted to go see House Band. And House Band, you just should have been there. You just should have been there.
What a good time, dude.
That's what I mean. I hope whoever's
Dan
down there is doing
Winehouse
it right.
just crushing it.
All those guys, I follow a lot of them. They're all doing it. Thank you guys. Another Springfield ones, Lo and Behold.
Ooh,
Lo and Behold kills it. Josh
and Alex.
Yeah, Alex. They've always been super kind. Go listen to their music. They're still crushing it. They actually came out to St. Elizabeth once upon a time and played a field party for us.
Really?
And I never thought I would see a mosh pit out in the middle of population 20, but those boys came and rocked that set, and they still rock it to this day, and they're real dudes. They're really great. And that's Jessica. That was music. That was college music, Phi Mu, the love was there. You say, you didn't end up getting finished or whatever, but some started. Some started that's not yet to be finished.
Yeah, they'll always hold a place in my heart for
Amen.
sure.
Yep.
You get down to Springfield. I guess things don't go as planned, right? Or how'd it work for you?
Springfield, well, just to go ahead and put the cap on it, I was in school. I had made it through to the final art program, and it was super hard. Like, the Brick City I don't think it had just gotten started. Brick City is the main art department. And in order to get into your senior years, I was on, like, my 5th, dude. I was really close. Yeah. And I was going through the graphics department. I was working with Duchek. His wife was there. It's like these guys that started this program. They're like amazing artists. Like, I remember being this lady over.
It's all graphic art.
Yeah, painting fundamentals and stuff. Some graphics. I had one guy that did graphics. He was kind of nice, but like, he definitely instilled on me that I should get more serious. So that was kind of nice. Basically I was in my final years. I had just made it in life. Took the wheel again. My mother passed away right at that time, and
I forgot
things
that was
changed.
right around that time. Yeah.
And I had a lot of stuff going on in my mind, a lot of stuff that I wasn't able to focus like I used to. Like, I
How
felt
could you, man?
I felt, any kid out there is, anything is like that, and don't feel bad, because my mind was a million other places, but they're in the classroom.
Yeah.
And I had the idea, we had a lot of stuff coming, and so unfortunately, school came to a screeching halt.
Yes.
And that's kind of how it happens. Don't feel bad. And that's like, looking back now, and education is something no one can take from you. I can go back any day.
Yeah.
So don't, like you said, you just told me you're going to get your bachelor's. Yeah, that's awesome. Probably going to go sign up right after this. No.
Exactly.
But
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
what I mean. I went to school with 45-year-olds, and I forget that. There's people that were starting their education when I was starting mine 20 years ago, and they finished. And that's what's cool is you, as a young man, I had life come into play. Life will always come into play. If you got to realize you're not really in control, and as soon as you get that feeling, nothing can really bust you.
You have moments during that, I would say for us, probably like 19 to 23, where it hits you. You stop for a minute and you're just like, fuck.
Yeah.
Like you have a lot of those moments of, fuck.
Yeah.
And
getting real, dude.
Yeah.
And it got me more real. That's what I'll say. It just got me. And I stepped away. I started working full time. I went straight into full time work. I was like, I got to start working.
Yep.
And I started working. I worked in some graphic shops. I was starting to feel out art, and I had worked at Goodwill for a long time, which I have a lot of good friends from Goodwill.
Yeah, I remember that time. Yeah.
And that helped me build fundamentals, but at that time also, what I didn't quit doing was skateboarding. And I started skating. I started skating a lot. Skating because my friend Aaron Petermeyer was skateboarding. Yeah, Petermeyer, he's the core. He's soul skater. And he was rooming with a guy by the name of Drew Ray, which he thought until the day they moved in together was my other friend Drew Davidson. And Drew Davidson, I work with him at Goodwill. He got me in the bicycling. We're good buds. And Peter Meyer thought that he was so he meets his roommate the first day he moves in with him. And Drew had moved in with me and John for a time because he was in high school, and he was figuring out. John worked with him at Pasta Express across the street. And he was a skater. He was just really good, really younger than us. So, we kind of hanging out with him, he's sleeping on our couch, figuring life out. But he was skating his ass off.
Yeah.
And he would just tell us, he's like, yeah, Springfield's got we got a lot of stuff going on here, man. He's like, you guys need to go to the park. You never been to the park. And the Springfield skate park. And so that time, there was one point me and John lived on the 3rd floor in Springfield Old Monterey Apartments, and right across the street, right behind Goodwill where I worked, by not even 5-minute walk to work, lo and behold, there's a slabbed up DIY skate spot. And I remember I was sitting on my porch drinking beers, and I saw a crew. The first time I'd ever seen a skate, like I was like, what are these guys
Like an actual
doing?
group.
And
down there.
and let it be known, I did skate in St. Louis. I would go to parks and stuff, but I wasn't on social media. I'd watch a little YouTube. I didn't know what was going on. I was out of the loop, I would say. But I saw these guys roll up on a golf cart, hauled at a trailer, and then it was like at least 6 people, and they all were all tatted, gnarly, looking sick. And they were ripping this spot. They just showed up, they were filming each other, ripping each other, and I was on my porch like, man, I want to be a part. What is going on? That's what that is? That's a skate spot? Okay.
Yeah.
It's been right out my front door this whole time. And I ended up meeting those people through getting into skating in Springfield, become great friends with them. And my buddy Dakota Williamson, we would skate MSU parking lot, and we would skate. Me and John, and my brother Jesse and Sierra. She moved up from St. Elizabeth and started high school at Parkview High School there.
Yes, I remember that.
And we lived right next to the art museum there at Green Meadow, or Meadowmere. Green Meadow, not that Meadowmere, right there, and that's like right next to MSU campus. So we had house parties next to us, all kinds of people.
A lot of stuff going on right
all
there.
kinds of stuff. But basically, I was in skating distance of the campus. So even though I was not going to school at the time, we would go to campus and skate. And we would skate. And it was
There's
fun.
a lot of good ground there to skate on the campus.
Springfield is great. It's on a grid. So, if you got a car, just get a longboard, get a skateboard, get a bike. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
And yeah, and lo and behold, Springfield Skate Park is less than a mile away also.
Oh man.
And what's cool about it is it stayed open. I don't think it's like that no more, but it was open till 10 or 11 at night, so you could catch a late sesh. You can go early sesh. They're open on the weekends.
Yeah.
And yeah, Dakota kept telling us, he's like, we need to start going to the park. We need to go to the park more. And we started skating in the Springfield lots, and then we ended up going to the park, and then it was on.
Dakota is the type to sprint you into something because he has energy and he'll be like, brother, check this out.
Now,
and boom,
let's go.
We're doing it. Yeah.
And yeah, so we all crewed up, and yeah, we were drinking pretty heavily at the time. We were doing it all and having a good time. Good times wasted having good times. But basically, we lived at this house, and I guess what really set it off, like that time, I'd gotten out of school, and then I started getting a little more real with skating. I started really getting back into my roots of like I missed that, and I didn't realize how much I missed it.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, we bought a skate ramp. We all went in on this skate ramp. I think it was like $1,000 posted in Arkansas, or not Arkansas, somewhere, Ohio, Iowa or something.
Okay.
And we even tried to take John's truck. It was a 1500 Chevy, and this ramp weighs like 2 tons. Like it's
it's that heavy.
And the truck ended up not even being able to pull the trailer. So we were like, oh god, we're not gonna go get it. So we stopped. And then the dude dropped the price on it. He dropped the price to like $800, and we were like, "Man, we can get that. We can all come together right now and get that." And we still have it today. We still have the ramp.
You do still have it.
The ramp moved back in Jeff City.
There's so many clips, guys. What's your Instagram tag?
Go to the Keem Team.
The Keem Team. Go check that out.
Go watch that, or you can go watch my Instagram or any of ours. Keem Team Reppin' is the hashtag. You can look that up.
They were sick. Like they had this little. It's a half pipe out in their backyard, and people were just shredding it. Like it was awesome.
And that's what that opened our doors to you build it, they will come. That's what happens. And great power comes great responsibility. But honestly, we weren't the only ramp. Shout out Troy Harris, Springfield, STP, RDC, Rad Dad Crew now, Josh Reynolds, Dirt. The ramp at Troy's house was the first resurrected ramp there that I knew of, really. I had skated another ramp with Josh Foster, real cool cat, out of Springfield, still there doing it. Our buddy Tyler Palmer, he's a ripper. Follow him, do whatever, he's a cool guy. We would go skate their ramp, and they would throw a competition called Skater of the Beer. And that's where Keem Team made their debut. And we were just, we saw all this stuff going on. We were like, we want to be a crew. We want to do something. Yeah. And that's what came out, Keem Team. And that's what happened. But, yeah, we started skating with them. And, yeah, you're the new guy. You got to, it's a long way to the top if you want to rock and roll. Yeah, like you got to get down with the town posse. Thank you, guys. And yeah, that's how it goes. But really, we got our ramp because of that. We were like, I want to get down. Yeah. And yeah, like luckily I'm blessed with friends that wanted to get down too. And yeah, we skated there, skated the park, skated a competition there one time at the Combi there in Springfield. And yeah, that I just got really in tune with that family and that, that scene and people. And I hate, some people don't like hearing it. It's not really a scene, it's really just like people that have been there, everyone there that knows. And luckily I got to be a part of getting to know a little bit. And really that's where I started skating in Springfield, doing that, going to the park a lot more. And really it's kind of one of those things where when we got that ramp, that kind of made that was a foundation. That was a foundation of like, it's going to be forever now. Like, yes. It never was not forever.
Like, no, but it's like, we're here.
Yeah, it's down.
We are here.
And yeah, I even had a neighbor at the time. His name's Eric, and he would come over and he said he hadn't been skating 45 years. He saw what we were doing. He was like, tip that trash can over. And I watched him ollie our trash can in our driveway. Yeah. And then he would start just coming to our house all the time. Yes. All the time. Good times. Wasted having good times. That's his quote. But, yeah, that basically Springfield started skating there, and that's where it's led me now. I'm sitting here said skateboarding so much.
Yeah,
Get used to it.
I love it. Yeah.
Really.
You get done down there. Now you're up in Jeff. You move up to Jeff. you start working. I remember you worked up there and stuff, but let's really dive in because I know you really took over in the skate scene. You were telling me about it, but I want the people to hear like that story about how you got involved up there because you did a lot of good with all the people up there, man.
Yeah, man. Like I said, I had a lot of good people around me and a lot of legit people. You know, you don't get that. You got to go find that, and they'll find you too.
Yes.
And you'll feel it. You know, you're gonna get that, and if you're down, you're down. And yeah, so we wanted to, I was kind of in Springfield figuring it out. Cece was gonna graduate. And we were like, maybe it's a good time for us to pack it up, I don't think Springfield was forever, really.
Yeah.
I mean, it's forever, but like it wasn't,
it's a homestead.
There. The story only began there. And so we're like, well, you want to move back to Jeff? I was like, sure. My birth certificate says I was from there. So.
Yeah.
And yeah, it became a thing where we were like, all right. So I started looking for jobs. I ended up scoring a job doing digital marketing, and I was working for the paper there and doing all that.
That's what was the paper.
Yeah, I started working for the paper. I met a lot of great people through there. I'm trying to stay on the page of skating, but really I was doing digital
You don't have to.
marketing.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Just tell me.
I was working there. I was doing digital marketing. I had a really great coworker. We were handling like 40 businesses' websites, all the stuff. It's for a company called Flypaper. I don't like to not say what helped me. And yeah, I got into this. Took me on some cool trips. I went on a road trip to where the office was based out of, and it's in Arkansas, Fayetteville, Arkansas. And yeah, everyone wants to go do something at the bar, or go hang out, and I'm all for that. Obviously, I would go hang out, but I went to the skate park.
Yeah, I was like, I heard you say Fayetteville, and I'm Arkansas. Yeah. I'm like, I think Fayetteville's a bigger town.
And I went out there, and it was kind of cool because I was working for this company, and they were paying for my rental car, and I was like, I'm gonna go skate.
Yeah,
and I'd go to the skate park, and I met some cool locals there that I'm friends with, and so that was kind of funny. But when I was working at the paper in Jeff City, I met Jim Dyke. Jim Dyke is an artist there in town. He owns Cotton Stone Frame and Art Gallery right there on High Street. He's been there forever. He will be there forever, and he has done it.
Right there.
It's Jimmy Art. You can go to the opinions page on the News Tribune. You'll see some of his beautiful art. He's a political cartoonist. But Jimmy, cousin Jim, we really just stuck like glue. Some people you're just like you gravitate towards some.
Yes.
Jim had been there a long time. He'd seen a lot of people revolve through those doors. And I just would talk his ear off about art. And we just would talk, and he'd show me his art, and he's an amazing painter. Don't let that, this is what he does there. Go look at his
so
paintings.
Cool, yeah.
His paintings are
his paintings are amazing.
Amazing. And basically I would talk to him so much I ended up not working there. Because, I was doing a lot, not doing what I honestly could have been doing, but, I wanted to do other things. I wanted to get out there. I wanted to, like you said, skateboarding was breathing, and it was figuring it out. And there was a time, Salute to America is a big 4th of July thing that they have there in the capital city. And it was one day this year, but it used to be 3 days, a whole thing. And basically the whole town gets rented out, and they have the fire over the sky and the big firework display on the bridge.
Wow.
Well, I had caught wind that they did skateboarding competitions.
Yeah.
Or a skate thing where someone would build ramps. And I was like, what is that? And we were talking about it. I've got the board sitting here right now.
Yeah, I just want to point out, Gus has a metric fuck ton of of skateboards here that he has absolutely demolished, but they are sick. I can only see about 4, and the designs on them are awesome. I think that's the thing. Skateboarders, they love the design, but people who don't skate, like me, I don't really skate. Seeing it's so cool. So cool to see. But it's so crazy to me. The design aspect of it is the design goes on the bottom of the board where you don't see it. But it's so cool. Yeah. It's so beautiful.
It used to not be that way. It used to be, back in the banana board days, the graphic would go on top, but then grip tape got invented. So
which makes sense because grip tape is 10 times safer and better. You need it.
Yeah. Well, my point with that is shout out Eric Williams. He's the owner of the Nook. tattoo. I think
And
there's
Fifth
some,
Element. I want to point out Fifth Element in
okay.
Vienna.
Yeah.
Go get your
Trying
tats.
to think the other gentleman's name. There's another gentleman. I can't.
Oh, he's the only one I knew.
Failing that, but yeah,
Okay.
I know Eric.
He's the other guy up at the Nook.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And Eric was the guy doing the skate stuff at Salute to America. Well, I don't know why, but it didn't seem like that was happening no more that much. And he's definitely put in a lot of work also. His company was called, I don't know if, I hope it's invigorated still because I got the board right here, Riot Skateboards.
Yeah, it's a sick design. I'll take a picture of it for the Instagram post. It's
We need revolution every 200 years because all governments become stale and corrupt after 200 years, Benjamin Franklin.
Yeah, it's sick. It's a sick design.
This is an old board. This is definitely old. I brought this around to some of the guys. And they're like, how did you get that?
Do you just want to keep that? You're just keeping that as the thing. I
brought this one because this is the first thing I put in my office at the News Tribune.
Oh, cool.
I put it right on the wall. And everyone was like, what are you doing? Like, where's the pictures of your family?
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I got this skateboard that I just got. And all that you did the skate stuff. Like, what's up with that? Like, what's going on? Let's do it. And he was like, I've got a lot of stuff going on, but I see you. I see what's going on. I bought that board from him. I'm pretty sure he gave me another one that I skated, and it's since perished. But he told me he also gave me blueprints to the skate park because he had intentions on doing something with the skate park one day.
You said that, yeah.
I still have those to this day. And basically, I told him, I was like, yeah, we want to pick that up, man. I was like, I'll build some ramps. I want to do something. Like, we're trying to raise awareness. Like, I moved back this area. I grew up at JC Park. And JC Park is off the boulevard at Washington Park. It was super rough. We're talking 4 or 5 years ago when we just moved back.
I remember when I would drive by there. You're like, it's kind of rough down there.
Rough. And, yeah, but there's a scene there. There. We met our buddy, Manny Mayer. His father's Tim Mayer. They're great guys. Manny is the best skater that I know. He's the best. He's a bomb. Dude, skating.
With a name like Manny, you got to be good at skating.
Emmanuel is his full name. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we got to hang around those guys. We got to hang around. And all of a sudden we started realizing we all know the same people. We all had already hung. He knew everyone in Springfield.
Yeah. And
he's half my age. So, like, it's kind of cool getting to be around cats like that because skateboarding breaks that barrier. Like, I have so many friends, different ages, everyone's cool. And that's what I talked to Eric, and I was like, yeah, dude, we're going to do that. I'm trying to bring that back. And he's like, go for it. And he lent us a PA system for the day. So we had music. And I think that's what he gave me, that board and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And basically, I went to Jimmy, bring it back to cousin Jim here. I was like, Jim, hey, I'm wanting to do the Salute to America stuff, man. I'm wanting to build skate ramps. I want to do something. What can we do? He's like, call this lady. He just gives me the number.
Damn.
I call the lady. I say, I know Jim. Jim gave me your number. She's like, oh, cool. What do you guys want to do? I was like, I want to build ramps. I wanted to throw a little skate awareness event, and we called it Capital City Skate Scene. That was what went down on the paper, and I've advocated our rules, said we were advocates, we were awareness raisers, we're wanting to bring this home it in. And basically, 4th of July of 2018, right then, we did it. All we had was a fresh park. Dakota built the ramps. Dakota built the bank ramp with me in our backyard while we were all sleeping on the floor of a house all together. And he built a fun box, and we had a fresh park ramp, which a fresh park ramp is like a modular ramp you can buy.
Okay.
And it has legs. It's just a little quarter pipe. But the day came, and we were sitting right next to the main stage with all the music.
Yeah.
And we just told everyone we knew to come out. And it's funny because if you know High Street, it's the courthouse right there.
Yeah.
And we were right in front of the courthouse.
Oh,
and so, like, we got skaters. Like, it was crazy. Like, I still think about it today. I have people, luckily, it was brought up to me because they remember it. And, we had people jumping off the courthouse stairs. Someone trying to kickflip the stairs. I was filming them while cops were standing there watching us. And cops are, like, shaking their heads, like, what's
But it was
going
approved,
on?
so you're
Approved.
good to go,
Good. You're set. The road will get paved. Like, that's what happens. It got paved for us.
Oh.
And that was cool. Like, not, like, literally paved, but it was, like,
no,
it
but
got made open, doors open.
Yeah, yeah.
And they were like, this is happening today. Like,
Yes.
this would not happen, but this is happening today. And, so we threw that event. It popped off. Everyone was skating. There was a point where I was watching skaters come across the center of High and Monroe and bombing, and like everyone was just watching. The whole community was watching. It's crazy. Like more people watching us than the main stage, and that kind of really invigorated. Like, all right, we're gonna do something around here. We're trying to figure this out.
Yeah.
And there was a few things to figure out. We didn't really know what we wanted to do. We just wanted everyone to know that there's skateboarders. Like, we're skateboarders. And yeah, for a long time, if you even put a board down at High Street on the ground, you get a $200 ticket.
Holy
That's how it
shit.
went. There's no skateboarding allowed. Like, no, you can ask all the old people, everyone that's been around there. I'll say it right now. Eric I knew he ran Crossbones. And Crossbones is a skate shop that was right across the street from JC Park, and that's where.
Hold on one second. I'm so sorry. I want to take
bro.
a break just to make sure we're good to go,
Yeah.
and then I'll hop back into Crossbones. That'll be our mark, okay?
Aye.
Thanks, Gus.
Do the intro.
All right, we're back, guys. We're on Crossbones. Sorry, we had a big. My kids got in here. We were talking about everything. Gifted, yes, that's the word. We got Gus though. He was talking about Crossbones up in the skate shop up in Jeff. So if you want to dive down that a little more.
Yeah, like I said, I had to shout that out because come down here to Ben's neck of the woods, it's not too far off. Crossbones has since not been around, but anyone that listens just know, like, I was there 15, 20 years ago, and I'm still talking about it today. So anything that ends doesn't mean it's the end, anything can be. And yeah, that place did a lot for me, just because I would see they would put kids on. A lot of my friends rock the Crossbone shirt, and one of our local buddies here was actually on, and yeah, he was just a country kid that could skate, and he would travel to Jeff, and I remember him telling me, and it was actually the same guy that when I went to Lewis and Clark, he was skating for Crossbones at that time, and he would tell me, he's like, you should come to the park, bro. And I was like, yeah, well, if I get my mom to drop me off, or her boyfriend taxi driver maybe, that'd be cool. And yeah, usually we'd get dropped off, and we'd be there till the lights shut off at 11, which they still do. So if you ever go out there, the lights are off at 11. Park closes at 10, but the lights are on at 11. But they would throw comps and stuff, and yeah, that's what's I remembered that forever. And I saw Salute to America, and like we said, Eric, he did the Nook skate shop tattoo, which is now Fifth Element and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's why I wanted to mention that. But yeah, flash forward, basically Crossbones was right across the JC Park, and I guess getting into JC Park, it's an old park. What I've been told, when I was there, I would get dropped off there, and it was just always like, you just get dropped off there, and you could just do whatever you wanted. Just do whatever you want, and everyone's mostly cool, and everyone's things are tough back in the day. People are tough, which better way for that is like got a lot of grit, you could say.
Yeah.
And basically, like, yeah, the little skate scene was going on because of Crossbones. That had been gone a long time. And so we would start going to the JC Park here in town because we didn't have Springfield Park to go to, which it was cool because you either have a membership at Springfield, there's a reason for that, and yeah, you got to wear your helmet there. If you don't got one, you can rent one for $1 at Springfield.
Yeah.
But yeah, blessed be, Jefferson City has a free walk-up skate park still. That was still there forever, and you could tell it was there. We had a crusty old concrete half pipe that's
I remember driving by it. Yeah, it was a little rough.
Crusty, Missouri Crust. By the way, Missouri Crust is a skate shop. Shane Stander, he's in Columbia, Missouri. He's been doing it a long time.
Hell yeah.
Missouri Crust. But anyways, we started coming to the park. We'd go to the park all the time, and you could just definitely tell this park, it had love. There's a lot of kids there. Like I said, my buddy Manny, his crew, known then as the Jeff Shittians.
Yeah.
But they would go there, and they were rippers. They're all rippers. They're all so good. And yeah, basically, if you learn to skate that park, you're going to be able to skate any park. You're going to show up, and yeah, that's the general consensus. Any of my friends now say when they grew up skating JC Park, anytime they'd travel anywhere, they were the rippers. They'd show up because they you grow up skating tough stuff. It makes you a tough skater.
Dude, I just want to piggyback off that. Like, I remember when we were in high school, we would do cross country. You ran cross country a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You remember the tracks were like tough as hell?
Yeah, amen.
Like these
yeah,
hills,
good
dude.
Point.
And I think when I got older in the Army, it attributed to like I could at least do hills pretty solid.
Yeah, dude.
And it's like people are like, what the hell? And I'm like, well, this is just part of it. Like,
Got that
you'll
grit.
get up there and then you got a downhill. You're good to go.
Yeah.
But like, I think that a determination of toughness definitely attributes these small towns to like having a tenacity.
Exactly. Yeah. I like that a lot. And yeah, that's what JC Park was like that. You know, we'd hang out there and we'd kind of just hung out, would look after the park and was getting to know everyone there. And there's some cool events in the area around here, like Shred Fest is another skate shop. Parkside Skate Shop is up there right next to Cosmo Park. They throw that every year. And it's just a little get together. Basically, you come out, have 1 minute run, you show what you do, and it's real fun. You know, it's all about having fun.
Yeah.
And it's like, if it wasn't fun, I wouldn't do it. That's how it goes. Jeff Phillips quote. But anyways, basically, at Jeff City Park, you know, I had seen some competitions happen there. Crossbones threw some.
Yeah.
He threw some real cool ones that, yeah, I'm talking about 20 years in the future still.
Yeah.
And Crossbones is long gone. Like, that's gone. It's been gone anyways. But there's a lot of people that it really meant a lot to, obviously.
Yeah.
And, you know, so we kind of had this missing thing where you got all these people that skate in Jeff City, and it's the capital. It's Jefferson City, Missouri. You know, it's kind of like I wear that, like I love that.
Yeah.
And it's kind of funny because yeah, there's skate spots. You go walking around, skate. All the homies have made some spots. There's some spots around that city too. But when your city doesn't have a skate park, the city becomes a skate park too. But luckily we have a skate park, and it just needed more love. It needed those people, and it did have them. And so we hung around, and you know, through the years, I've had the privilege of skating in a bunch of competitions.
Yeah.
A lot of those are these boards. That's a good way to get into these. A lot of these boards I've brought today are from those.
I want to bring this up. Gus brought this stack. You know, it's amazing. I'm just gonna flip through some. You know,
Yeah,
you got the
we can
Riot
get
one on
into
top.
it. Yeah, the Riot skateboards. We talked about that. The next one, yeah.
Yeah. What do we got here? That's a signature.
Yeah, go ahead and see if you can make out that signature, because I know you know who it is. Starts with an M, ends with a Vallely.
Yeah, I don't know.
Mike Vallely?
No, I don't know.
Mike
him.
Valley?
Yeah.
Whatever.
Who's that?
Mike Vallely is a skateboarder that I grew up with, loving. Not grew up with, but grew up. He's in the, you know, he's just one of the raddest people I know, and he's still doing it to today. He skated for Bones Brigade very young, before I was born.
Yeah.
And he's out of Des Moines, Iowa now, and he does his own thing. If you don't know, Des Moines, Iowa has built the biggest skate park in the country.
I did not know that.
Yeah, it's there, sitting next to the river. It's a gem. Go follow Mike. Mike, if you're out there. It's a street
Mike
battalion
Vallely?
board. Yep, Mike Vallely.
Yeah.
And that came from his brand, Street Plant.
I like the wolf.
Yeah,
the cartoon wolf.
Yeah, he had actually given me a little card. His daughter runs it, and it says like Gus and, you know, thanks for the support. But on the opposite side, we were talking about graphics on that board.
Yes.
So go ahead and grab that one again.
This one.
Yeah, that one, the Mike Vallely board. On the other side,
shit.
yeah,
Okay.
he's got a little graphic on there. But the cool thing about that board, I saw it. One, it's an old school board, and it's a Jerry Garcia shout out board. And he signed it Love, like he does all his boards on there.
That's Garcia's handprint?
Yep.
That's dope,
Garcia,
dude.
he had the 4 fingers going on, so it's pretty rad.
Yeah, that's dope, dude.
But yeah, I hang that on my wall. That's my Inspirato board, because I ordered that when he was doing a garage clean out. He runs it out of his garage.
Yes.
And that was just one I scored. I'll probably never skate it, but I should.
No, but it's dope.
Yeah. And
It's
then
a fatter, yeah.
Yeah, and it's old school, new school. But then this one is another wall hanger. That was a board that my buddy had done the graphic for. That's the mall shop board that I was talking about.
Oh, it's got the Jeff implant in the back.
Yeah, you look at it. It's made by my buddy Esteban Enriquez, if I'm not getting his last name wrong. But Esteban is an amazing, gifted artist. You can find him on Instagram.
This artwork is dope as hell.
Yeah, he did a real cool graphic. It shows a bull and a skater and this Jeff City Capitol in the background.
Yeah,
and
dude.
I've got a T-shirt of that, and I luckily skated like 5 of those boards.
He stopped making all these?
There was one run.
Man.
One run. And so I don't know if there's much of those left, but I'll try to keep that one.
Yeah, that's dope.
The next one.
We got some beat up ones now.
Yeah, these are the pride and joys. Yeah. That one, that's an Element. I believe it's an Evan Smith board. Element was established in 1992, 92 to infinity.
I like Element.
I was also born in '92. Ben, I
Yeah.
think you were
92.
92.
Barely.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm there.
Right there. I skated that board at Skate Laborious. Skate Laborious is in St. Louis.
I just saw that article
Yeah.
you posted about New York Times. Yeah.
Yep. The church is unfortunately burnt down, but it
Damn.
was a start.
That's what
yeah.
they showed. I remember a couple weeks ago, my dad's friends are firefighters up there,
Yeah.
and I saw this giant fire
Yeah,
coming
it's-
out of a church.
Wow, that's crazy. You saw
Yeah.
that even. Yeah, that was a big deal. The guys that started that, they're a crew. Their company is Always Hard, but the Skate Laborious crew is kind of an other thing. It's a non-profit group. They're responsible for a skate park there called KHVT. It was a DIY skate park underneath Kings Highway Bridge.
Oh,
That
wow.
was really famous. Like
Mhm.
we got a lot. I haven't skated. I think it's shut down because
It was under Kings Highway?
Yep. It was really cool.
Jeez.
And they started another one. There's another one elsewhere yet. But Skate Laborious is kind of another nonprofit that they started. And one of those guys there, I believe his name is Dave, but he worked for the City Museum.
Okay.
And if
Oh.
you've been to the City Museum.
Yeah, dude. City Museum's dope.
Imagination Factory.
Yes.
And so he took what he saw going on there, working for him, learning construction, and applied it to a skate park.
Skate park.
And
yeah.
they got given that church and built a skate park.
That's
in it.
fucking dope,
Yeah,
dude.
it started as a mini ramp, turned into a vert ramp, and now
and
it's
who was that
gone.
guy again?
Dave, I can't remember his last name, but follow Skate Laborious's page, and you'll know all about it.
Are they gonna? There's no salvage in it, I suppose.
No, but they're long live Laborious. It will
Yes.
something else will happen.
I remember seeing all the pics from there. It's beautiful. It's
Yep.
guys, if you ever look it up, Laborious.
Yep.
It's this church. It's literally an old school Catholic church that got turned into a skate park with ramps and everything. And it's so beautiful. These backdrops of these guys shredding it with these beautiful glass stained windows. It's a work of
Yeah.
art.
I luckily got to skate there 3 times. I was at the Red Bull Cornerstone, and I got to skate.
I
with
remember you guys
pros.
went there. Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
It was super cool. We got the Keem team rep it up there. Got to be a part of it 3 times, once during COVID. And yeah, long live Laborious.
Yeah. Next up, we got
This board
Pretty
is
shredded up.
That's the shredded one. Still got, I got that in Springfield.
Okay.
That was a local company somewhere around there. Guy was
Spear?
making them out of his basement.
yeah.
But yeah, Spear skateboards. It's pretty cool.
Tough.
It's got an old school shape. I
Oh, you
think
got
it's
the signature on there.
Yep, Coco signed it for me.
Oh, nice. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
But yeah, it's a good board. It ripped and ride, and it's a asymmetrical board, so both sides are the same.
Okay.
And then that's the Jeff City board.
Oh, this is the
I
one from
also
Jeff.
skated that in Skate Laborious.
Yeah, these are light. It's crazy
Yeah.
because you can tell just how lighter they are.
Yep,
Yeah.
that was one that I shredded.
Yeah.
I forgot I had that one.
So did you stop with these just because they were riding too rough, or what was the deal?
There's no more of them.
yeah.
I skated like 5 of them, and then I was like, I don't know if I can buy another one, so I'll just keep one. And
Yeah.
I put June of 20 on that one, so I guess I quit skating that one June of 20.
Yeah. I love that.
This board,
This one, ooh,
I'm trying to
that's
think. I think I scored that for super cheap. And it's
Yeah.
like just one of those
Oh, it's a
funny
fat boards,
it's
yeah.
like a prefab old school board. It's got Magneto on the other side.
yeah,
I
and
didn't
it's
know
got
who was
it's got the boards on it, the
Yeah.
grind boards.
them rails.
Yeah.
And I had that attached to my Sportster as a sissy bar for a long
Sick.
time.
Yes, dude.
That
That's
was-
why the bandana's there.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
That's just a cool board.
That's a cool board, yeah.
yeah.
Ooh, this one beat the shit. What happened?
I got a
here? You
piece.
Got half of one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a piece of a Dirty skateboard. Dirty Skateboards is out of Poplar Bluff, Missouri. He
Okay.
throws an event called September Slam every year, and if you want to come get some, come get it. Come shed some blood for that board. I got that on my birthday.
Yeah. It looks like it had a dope ass design on it. It's just shredded.
Yep,
to
it was
shit.
actually I'm thinking the design on that. He goes to Skatopia. Skatopia is definitely a real thing. It's definitely there. If you want to go, you can go check it out. But they burned a van there, and that was the graphic on that.
Okay.
Um,
This next one, it's broken half, but
yeah.
it's there.
that one
Lolly
is in 2
or-
pieces. Lovely.
Lovely.
Lovely is a skate company, I believe.
Set this
My
one over
homie
here.
Manny skated for a minute.
Yeah.
I got that from Shane at Missouri Crust. It's out of Kansas City.
Yeah. It
Kansas
felt
City,
tough.
Missouri.
It felt good. Like
Yeah,
grippy.
It was one of
it.
my favorite boards. That's why I still got had the sad
Yeah.
clown on it.
Yeah.
That might. I
Next.
don't know what's that board. That might.
Oh,
That's a.
Illuminati over here.
Yeah, that's a welcome board. I think it's one of Coco's. I don't know how I ended
Yeah.
up with that. That's just.
Oh, it's
that
just-
could probably
it's just
skate
cool ass
still.
board. Yeah. It can still skate that.
Oh,
Oh.
I think it's good.
Um, Next, we got a whole bunch of trees going
Oh,
on.
wait. Yeah, this is a Missouri crust board, and Shane always
Okay.
does the coolest graphics.
Yeah, this
we'll
is
try to show a
wild.
picture. You just look in it, and basically there's one part where you got to look for the faces. There's like a female face, and there's skulls. You can see the skull face.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's just one of those crazy
yeah,
collages.
okay. You got to
to
look at it hard, but it's there.
Yeah, I got that from Shane. The reason I got these stickers on it, these are the Save JC Park stickers, and that's
okay.
the
And that's when you were skating at that point.
that's
for
when we were
that.
saving the park. I skated that in the comp.
That's dope.
And here's this is
Oh,
one that you'd
Rodriguez
like.
board.
Yep.
Yeah, you got the fucking Goku.
You got the
on
little
there.
Goku. That
Yeah.
board I had bought after I broke my right ankle. I had
Okay.
snapped myself off.
I
in
remember
our
you were in a
driveway.
cast for a while.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I was wanting to cruise, and I saw that board, and I was still. I
It's
was
a
like,
sign.
Yeah, I was like 2 weeks out of my cast. I bought it, started cruising, still got it.
Yes. I
And-
love that.
The next board is the board I snapped myself off on.
Oh, really? That's where
the
you hurt
old-
yourself?
Yeah, that's a shake junt, but
Yeah.
that's the grip.
Yeah.
Zoo York board. I was going up on our quarter pipe fresh park. We were literally going to eat. My cousin and my buddy Mason. We were all there, and I was like, "Let me just do one trick," and that's all it took.
Man.
That was
That
unfortunate,
sucks.
but it still got the board, so that's cool, and some metal.
Well, this one's pretty fresh still.
Yep, that is a board. I think I got that given to me by someone, and my intention was to get everyone at the event to sign that board, and that's why I put
Yeah.
those stickers on it. But I just like it
Yeah.
because it has like a little galaxy
I
symbol.
like it.
It's
Yeah, a
cool.
little atom symbol. Yeah.
But yeah, I think that was around the Save JC Park time.
Okay.
And that
then this
one- This one is a good wood. That's about as cheap as money can get. That's like the
Okay.
$30 special.
Yeah, yeah,
It
yeah.
has the yin yang cats. I liked
Yeah.
it. The sticker on top, that was the first board I rode at Skate Laborious.
We're not here to fit in. We're here to stand out. Yeah, I
Yep.
like that with the team and everything.
Yep, that was
yeah.
my first comp board.
Okay.
Like legit comp. That was fun. But that's the stack.
I-
yeah.
Yeah, I know we went through that for a while, but that is, it's history in your life.
Yep.
That and it shows a timeline. If you guys look back, he went through that break in his leg. I remember when you were in that, and it was like, I'm sure that had to be tough with skating as your
Yeah, man.
thing, and you can't even do it.
Yeah, that's the thing, time is the best healer. That's all I can tell anyone, when you get hurt, don't take it lightly. That's time. That's time to take time to reflect. And yeah, when you're sitting 3 months, 6 months deep on a couch, you got a lot of time to reflect.
Yes.
And luckily, I had some other things, and I had a lot of skateboarding to watch and a lot of things to catch up on, and it just kept me stoked.
I would ask you this. Me and you, we kind of grew up with the same internet access, right? Like, when did you get full internet access?
Whew.
Like, would you say in your 20s
Like not
almost?
dial up?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we had dial-up or slow internet until we were out of our houses, right?
Yeah. I don't know, man. That's hard to say.
I mean, that
Like, it was like really late in life still. Like, basically, I remember buying my first laptop with whatever $1,000 I saved up to go to college.
yeah.
And then I got to college, and then I had internet. That was how it went.
I remember I had an IBM ThinkPad. when I
Yeah.
went to college, dude. It was rough,
Going to
man, dude. It
school.
was rough. And I still I had internet, but all I used it for was college because I'm like, well, what's the internet
Yeah,
got? And then I remember I had Spotify and Netflix were the two biggest things I learned about my first year of college. I was like,
Nice, yeah.
and Spotify back then, it wasn't even that big. 'cause
No,
it
that's
was
what I was
like,
going to say. Yeah.
it was like, I mean, what people use
Not
it
what
for
it is
music,
now.
but you were like, why wouldn't I just buy the music?
Yeah.
You're like, that's
No.
so stupid now. Like,
Well, ahead of the curve there.
yeah, yeah. But now it's like, I mean, you look at that, like, what a genius idea
Yeah.
of a million.
Before it was on your phone. That was like, yeah.
Before we had MP3 players all
Yeah.
high school. Even with the internet, we still downloaded like 100 songs
Yup.
on those. Remember, me and you buying the stick MP3 players. It's like
Yeah.
100 songs max. People got Zunes
Replay.
and iPod shuffles, and you're like, damn, that's cool.
Yep.
I can't afford that though, so I'm
No.
gonna get this $30 MP3 player and burn some shit onto it.
Needed it.
Yes.
Yeah, that's legit.
What
like,
about and then that's the point I was getting at. YouTube. So I haven't
Yeah.
really got into YouTube until the past year and a half.
Yeah, you're a little late to the game, brother.
100%.
That's
dude.
okay.
There's
That's
so
okay,
much
'cause
cool shit there.
You can start up right now, and
Yes.
you're gonna
Yes.
do well.
I don't want to get people addicted to it, but it is addicting. It's
Yeah.
it's
People
all
love
the
to
stuff
watch,
you
dude.
like.
People like seeing you. They'll love to see this.
Yeah. I man, from skating to music to podcast to um what's the other one? I'm a big golfer now. I
Mm-hmm.
love
Yeah.
watching golf. They have fun
See the John
videos of
Daly?
it. John Daly. Oh, you knew John
Yeah.
Daly.
I
Hell
know John
yeah.
Daly. He's got
Yeah,
some nice
grip it
things
and
to
rip
say.
it, baby.
Mhm.
He's the man, dude.
Done it long before you.
Yeah,
Us.
there's a good a documentary about him on YouTube. I just
Nice.
saw it. I'm gonna watch it this weekend. But yeah, all that stuff. Like I can't imagine our parents. They never had access to that stuff. And is it good or bad? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But it's so cool to see all that
You
come
gotta-
to light.
It's that double-edged sword. You gotta use it wisely, and it's education. It is education, and it's not beyond education. It can be communication. I have had some experiences on my Instagram, like Mike V. That was a guy I played as on Tony Hawk Pro Skater.
Mm-hmm.
I've had him reach out to me plenty of times, and
That's
he's
dope.
like it's cool, like it's crazy.
It's surreal.
Yeah, and they're just it makes you understand that even you hear celebrities, that you think they don't have control of their stuff. No, a lot of them do. Some of them do. Not a lot of them. I don't know, but you know what I mean. Like it's a good tool for you to communicate directly with your audience and see how you're looking.
Absolutely.
And not like just see if you're coming off like how you want to.
Yeah.
And if you're not, you can address it.
Yeah, you got to address some stuff now, yeah. It's so wild, man. I love the skateboarding aspect. I talked to Gus about this earlier. I'm probably going to change the podcast name just cuz I have had so much fun talking to people about life instead of just the military, and I realize a lot of my friends, it's not just that. It makes me so happy to see like you thriving from where you came from. You are happy, dude. You are happy.
Thank
I
you.
see it in your face.
Appreciate
it's beautiful.
it. I see it. That's what it reciprocates. That's where I came back to. I wouldn't have come out here for no other reasons to be with my friend.
Yeah.
Have some fun.
We both got grins across our face like a mile wide, dude. This is so good. Yeah. Yeah.
And the guest.
And the guest, dude. It's probably gonna go there. I know, man.
It's good.
Let's dive into it's good. All right, let's dive into something a little different.
Yeah, hit me.
He has another box here. Before we dive into the box, me and Gus are major music fans. We talked about the fraternity we were both involved in. I'll say he was involved in as well. He was there 9% of the time I was.
Looking for you.
Yeah. Yeah, where's Ben? Shout out Travis Niedergerk and
That's a good one.
Jeremy Jefferson.
Travis, very
Solid
nice
dudes.
to me.
Roommates in college. I skipped out on rent. I'm really sorry about that. It affected my credit.
Hey.
So I know it came back to bite me. I'm super sorry about that.
Good time.
But they were dudes that showed me how to grow up when I was living with them and even around them. They were major instigators in my life. Travis does digital media for a gaming company. I don't really know what he does now. Jeremy, I know he's up in St. Louis. I know he has a great job with Emily. Shout out to them both. I love them. I'm sorry if there's hard feelings, but I love them. Music, man. Music was influential on our lives. How early do you think you started loving music?
Mama
Both
was
our
a
moms.
rock and roller,
Yes,
dude.
brother.
And Daddy was a Rolling Stone, so it's
Yeah.
like that's how it goes. Like I was
Yes.
pretty sure I was conceived like I don't know, just rock and roll.
We were
Like,
both. I mean, your parents are a little younger than mine, I think.
Mhm.
My parents are in their 60s,
Now,
early
Eddie,
60s.
he's a rock and roller.
Yeah, he's gonna be on, dude. I'm gonna have him on.
Nice.
Yeah, they're in their 60s, so I grew up on the Eagles, like we said.
Yep.
But then, like, I listen to Little Richard,
Yeah.
the Beatles. I mean, Beatles weren't even like everybody's listening. You'll know this guy, Jim Croce, right?
Yep.
People don't know about him a lot,
Nope.
surprisingly.
No.
I love Jim Croce.
Yeah.
I think he's one of the most greatest singer-songwriters
Yeah.
of that generation.
Is that
Bad
My
Leroy Brown?
Friends? Yeah, bad Leroy Brown.
Yeah.
Or
Don't Mess Around with Jim.
mhm.
Yeah. All that. Operator.
Does he do the "What would you do if I sang"? Out
No, that's
Mhm.
Oh, he was at Woodstock Live. That's the best recording of it. Is Woodstock.
Yeah, I knew I might be getting that wrong.
I Get By with a Little Help from My Friends.
Mhm.
The original was by Ringo.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, it's great by Ringo.
Wow,
It's
sick.
great by Ringo.
Nice.
But that guy you're talking about, I can't remember his damn name.
Mhm.
Yeah, he was great.
Mhm.
I'm gonna look it up right now.
Yeah, Jim
Though-
Croce, good one.
Jim Croce is like probably one of my favorite singers of all time, just because he was so original.
Yep.
I'm looking this up real quick.
I watched a really good movie called Jesus Revolution.
Joe Cocker. Sorry.
Joe Cocker.
Joe
There we go.
Cocker.
Good call.
Yeah, what were you saying though? Sorry. Yeah, solid dude.
Sorry, eating Cheeto.
Yeah.
But Jesus Revolution is a movie that's come out in 2023, and it has a
Okay.
lot to do with the movement of like quote unquote Jesus freaks. But it was coming up during the times of rock and roll and the truth sayers. If you have an interest in watching a cool movie,
Is this like 60s, 70s time?
yeah,
Okay.
and it has a lot to. It's a real thing. It's based on a New York Times article, but I liked it because it has a little bit to do with a lot to do with Jesus and a movement.
Yeah.
But it really is cool because it has a lot to do with rock and roll.
Right.
Good movie.
Not to get into too deep here, would you consider yourself a heavy Christian?
I would say I was raised Christian
Yeah.
majority of my life. And yeah, I'm stepping back into those lights of having the open heart. I've been going to Bible study. I just had a great experience at a church, Solid Rock there in Apache Flats, Jeff City.
Okay.
But yeah, I say that movie because it was something where you hear the word Jesus freak, and we were kind of brought up as we don't know what that is. We don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Your parents do, and that's what's
s-
cool. Like
yeah.
we grew up with some hippies and stuff, and that time, that genre is really kind of something when you think about it. We live a real certain way, and it's not like how everyone was not allowed to come to church like back in the day. Everyone, some long hair, no shoe, whatever, you couldn't come in. It's we live in a good time where, like, the church I went to recently, I looked around and it brought me to tears to see all the diversity in the room.
That's beautiful.
And it's all walks of life. It's different strokes, different folks, and
Yes.
it's really cool because that's how it is. It wasn't like that necessarily for me growing up. And
You felt, I mean, I'm sure you felt the same way I felt it. There's a lot of judgment in these small
Yeah.
towns. Like, that's the hard part, I'd say, about small town, is the churches are very, sometimes I gotta be careful how I word this, I
Yeah,
guess.
definitely.
It feels judgmental at
Yeah.
times. I don't know if
Not-
it's like that anymore.
no.
I think that went away when we
No.
were in our teens,
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah.
But it felt that way, and now you're like, well, you know what? I think they accept mostly everybody at this
Yeah.
point.
Yeah, those doors, and that movie. It's a good one. It's a good one where it really explains.
Jesus Revolution.
Yeah, and it's really good. You guys should watch it. You'll like it a lot.
Yeah, I'll check it
and
out.
It's cool because that's what this gentleman. I feel bad. It's the guy that it led into, his name's Greg, but it was another older gentleman, another guy named Lonnie Frisbee. He was a follower, but he was on the other side. He was in the hippie movement.
Okay.
And he crossed paths with this gentleman that was in the church where it wasn't open doors.
Yeah.
The thing is that the door is open. It swings both ways. Those that want to
Yes.
hear and those that don't want to. So,
Yes.
and that's what that movie. It's really cool because it's like you talk about that stuff now, like how we feel. That's how it was. And
Yeah.
that's back in the 70s. I couldn't imagine.
No, I have
But
no.
it's because of
yeah.
how things, organically. I've met people that, they were just looking for a higher power.
Oh, baby.
Duty calls.
No. Go to mom. What? Come to mom. Okay. Well, we're gonna get back into the Jesus freaks in just a minute,
That's a good
guys.
point to pause.
Okay.
That's good.
Yeah. Sorry about that. We'll be right back. Y'all, we're back again. Me and Gus keep going on these tangents, and I love it. And my kids want to join in every now and then. But what do you got, man? You're gonna shout out
Yeah.
somebody.
We got into the talk about religion, and I'm someone that had very much strayed away, but I've always been around it, very much a part of my life. I've just turned 30. I'm getting ready to turn 31 September 18th.
Yeah.
So we're rocking and rolling into it. You too.
Yeah.
How old are you right now?
I'll be 31 in December.
That's what's up. We're right there.
Oh,
Chasing
yeah.
tails.
It's crazy.
But yeah, it's awesome. I gotta shout out my girlfriend Macy. Shout out Boo Boo.
Yeah.
She's the one that led me in the doors of the last church I went and had a great experience. And I told her that day that if it weren't for someone like you, a strong person, I don't know if I could have found myself being strong enough to come back to this. But ever since I've been back, I've just been blessed with being told I have It's because I had the open heart. Keep your heart open, and you will be called upon when you need to, and you'll feel the welcoming, and that's it's just wholesome. It's just
Yeah.
wholesome. It's nice to be real like that, and to have someone be with you that is wanting to do that. Recognize it, and hold on to it.
I think that's beautiful. Shout
Yeah.
out. I'm, Macy Boo Boo. I never met you
Oh,
yet.
that-
I can't wait to. But you've done something great with this already enlightened gentleman.
Sitting right here with one.
Keep it going. Yeah, keep it going because he's one in a million. Let's get into something we were talking offline about civilization, like all this stuff about how the world is. I kind of want to get into something good with you that's always got with us: records and music and stuff. Really, music more than anything. Okay, Find Me Alpha. We talked about it, how they had the influence on us to. I think almost they dug us into something deeper. That was like, yeah, music's there for you, but it doesn't have to be this stereotypical stuff that everybody thinks is music. You find other ways of other music that hey, maybe I didn't listen to this much before, but it's something that I don't know how I could live life. Sorry, I'm trying to get this chord in.
Got her.
Music getting into my life is something that has awoken me, and it makes getting through everything easy. Like, it's great. I love it.
Do you ever rediscover songs that you liked as a youth, and then you hear them now, and it's like, oh my.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you know what I like that nobody else seems to get pissed off about, but I love it still, is AC/DC.
Yep.
People are like, man, fuck, it's so boring and stuff. Yes, dude, rock your hands.
Rock
It's
and roll.
it's simple, but it gets me going every single time. I'll tell you the story. I remember we went to your mother's funeral, right, which was sombering, and it was this beautiful thing. I remember, I'll never forget you, your dad, your brothers, all you talking, and it was like this, beautiful thing about your mother. And we had to leave, and we had to go to Caitlin Sapphick's wedding.
Wow.
And we were like, shit, because we were road tripping all the way there. And we're
That's
like,
amazing. I didn't know that.
how do we get pumped up? And we listened to back to back. I Believe in a Thing Called Love by My Darkness or The Darkness, and then Kickstart My Heart by Molly Crew, and we were like, okay, let's go again. Which is, I'm not trying to shit up, I'm not trying to do something bad,
No,
but it was.
seriously.
That's the power that music has, is to get me going from a very sober, angry spot to let's have a good time, let's have
Fuel.
fun. I wanted to play this. It's music that I think you like. I'm gonna try it, but I might get this taken off air. I hope not, but
Get it.
we'll play it just a little bit. Just the intro is so fun because me and you love that old school feel. Okay, I'll see if it plays.
Nice.
Yeah, here we go. Yeah.
This is Jim Crow.
It's called Black Joe Lewis and the Honey Bears.
Nice.
All right, I gotta turn it off because I think I'll get
That's
copyright.
that love music.
Yeah, dude, that's that. I'm hanging out. I'm enjoying my life music, and I thought you'd appreciate it. I made a whole playlist of. I went off there and found all this stuff. Me and you, we like traditional shit. Hank Jr. What do we got here? Bachman Turner
Go through 'em.
Overdrive.
Go through 'em.
Ohio Players.
That's
You
my
know, the
newest
Fire
one.
the Fire album.
KC Sunshine Band.
Casey and the Sunshine Band, dude. Remember we used to play
My
Boogie
Boogie
Shoes?
Shoes.
Bro, Boogie Shoes, we used to jam that
That's
shit in
on there.
college, okay? It was that. Who we got here?
That's a Mid Missouri Taking Pride album.
Oh, okay, that's dope. Either way, that's cool.
Oh, here's
Hank,
a good one.
Hank Williams Jr. album. Oh, that's a
Born
good
Boogie.
album, dude. Born to Boogie, bro. Best of the Doobie Brothers. We talked about that. Merle Haggard and Bonnie Owens, which is a lot of people don't know. Merle Haggard did so many collaboration albums. Billy
Shout out-
Squire.
Shout out Leona Williams.
Shout out Leona Williams, Vienna native,
Yep.
right? David Allen Coe. Ooh,
Yeah,
I'm
you
getting
hold on that
canceled.
He's in prison. one
Yeah.
time.
Bob Seger. Oh, Night Moves album.
Classic.
Ooh, I didn't see that one. It shows the diversity, man. But you also know, I'm gonna list off some names. Who we got here?
Now that's- we got
Sam
so
Cooke.
Yeah.
Okay. Otis Redding. Okay, you got that soul part, Aretha Franklin, stuff like that.
On the dock of the bay. Who
Exactly.
does that one?
Yes, that's Otis.
That's Otis.
Otis. You know, that part in the song, it's a whistle where he's like.
Mm-hmm.
So that was supposed to be another verse, and he got killed.
Wow.
Yeah, but they kept the whistle in there.
Wow.
It's beautiful. Yeah, it's my favorite, man.
Uh-huh.
I've been listening to a lot of soul lately, so I've been.
You would like. Do you listen to 88.9 KJLU?
I don't really listen to radio much.
Okay, you need to tune into that.
Yeah.
I'll give you a time specifically to tune in.
Okay.
Every morning at 6 a.m.
Ooh.
they play a Ray Charles version of America.
Bro,
And
most beautiful.
yeah,
Sandlot.
They play
in the
every
Sandlot.
morning, and I wake up. That's what I listen
Yes.
to coming across the Jeff City Bridge.
Yes,
It lights
dude.
My fire.
Yes. America, sweet America.
I wish
Bro,
someone would sing this with me.
The Sandlot, man. Yeah. I wish someone was singing this with me.
It's
Yeah.
good. Yeah, I don't know
Yeah.
why they do that. They do it every morning.
Yeah. It gets you pumped.
It does.
I'm sure that's why everybody's heading to work and shit.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good. But then we also Luke Bryan. I was fans
Yeah.
when he came out. It's a
Yeah.
little, cheesy now, but whatever.
Hate
Like,
country to the bone.
yeah, dude. We talked about Danielle, Zach Bryan.
Mm-hmm.
We're obsessed with Zach Bryan.
Yeah, I'm
man.
pick that up now. I got the stickum.
I had them. Tyler Childers, you know him?
Yeah.
Tyler
White
Childers,
House
the man.
Road.
White House Road, dude. Get you going.
Someone be like, "Hey, turn down Tyler Chowders." I turn it up.
It turned it up. Dude, I used to, when I was an angry drill sergeant, I would drive to work. I'd play White House Road every morning.
Nice.
Get me going. Early in the morning, the sun does rise.
It's a good song.
Early in bed with bloodshot
Spoke
eyes.
to me when I heard it.
Yes, dude.
Jams.
We list all these things. Do you have a favorite genre at all?
If I said favorite, it'd just be rock and roll.
Mhm.
Rock and roll saved my soul. Still does. It does. I heard the other day, the day the music died.
Ooh,
And I
it's a
heard
long one.
That was when Buddy Holly, I believe. if I'm
It's
not
about that
wrong.
plane crash.
Yeah, the plane crash. And I cried listening to it in my car. I cried real hard.
Yeah.
But it's a real true song. And it's like, it's still, and I'm sitting there in my Chevy. And yeah, it's awesome, dude. Chevy to the levee. And
The
that's
levee's
like
dry,
it's
yeah.
the best stuff. That's what I mean. That stuff sticks. It's still around. It's all rock and roll to me.
That is, that era of music will always never die. I don't think that music
Yeah.
is so strong.
I am a connoisseur of hip hop.
Yeah.
I like hip hop.
Who you got as the best three rappers?
know.
Just
I've-
two white dudes in
I've
Missouri.
gotten a little
figuring this out.
biased. A little
Yeah.
biased on
I saw
hip-hop.
Kendrick in there.
Yeah, that was John gifted me that.
Yeah, that's a
Kendrick
good album.
Goes, yeah, that's the best. Mad City.
Yes.
Backseat Freestyle. I don't know. My favorite hip hop that I've gotten into recently, I love Mac Miller. Mac Miller is
Yes.
someone, when I was going to college, I got the pleasure of seeing him at the Chaffetz Arena when Donald Trump came out.
Ooh.
So that was like, he was getting it. He finally got it. Nikes on my feet and Kool-Aid and frozen pizza had come out, but that was the hype. And then I saw him the year or two before he passed in St. Louis when Good AM had just come out, but the
Oh,
Divine
wow.
Famine had come out. And good story about that. I was with someone. We stayed out till like 3 a.m. and we were bored. I was like, what are we going to do? And I was like, there's a bowling alley down the street. Let's go down there. And we went down there, and lo and behold, I was talking to this guy, and I was like, you look familiar. Where did I see you? You're Clockwork DJ. You're Mac Miller's DJ. And he's like,
Wow.
you got me, dude. You're right. And I was like, let me buy your shoes. And I was like, I bought his bowling shoes. And then he was like, all right, you come with me. And the person I was with come with me. And we were moving over to the party. And lo and behold, the person I was with got to go. But I got the arm. I got the arm. So I wasn't allowed to party.
Yeah.
But guess who was there?
Mac.
Mac. He was chilling.
Mac,
He was just
dude.
chilling. 3 a.m.
I'm
after a
sure.
St. Louis show, chilling. I saw him with my eyes. I played. I ended up hanging out with another couple. My friend came back over, hung out with me. It was all good.
Man. He seems kind of like Post Malone, just a
Yeah.
bro, dude.
Rest in peace, dude.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Make a decision, but try to live and live for
Yeah.
your brothers. Like
Them
that's what I
drugs,
mean.
brother, they'll get you.
So I mean, rest in peace, Mac Miller.
Yeah.
That's one I would say had a very heavy influence on a lot of people. I really like Mac's style. I wish we could have seen what else could have happened.
Mm-hmm.
other people. I had the pleasure of seeing Machine Gun Kelly one
Mhm.
time, and I was not a part of the lace up factor and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
yeah, he catches a lot of slack for what he does now. But he's a rock and roller.
I'm not a fan, but I respect
Yeah.
what he does.
I seen him live before he went pink. and
Yeah.
he killed it, dude. He's a G. He
Yeah.
definitely he needs to I don't know. He needs to do what he's doing, but I definitely didn't think I was an MGK fan until I saw him live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked him.
Kid Rock. That's one person that people don't really like. Can't say it. It's a big one, you know. But yeah, I was raised on that stuff. And
100%.
there's
Out
a
here,
reason why the kid rocks. Like,
dude, he puts it all together, and people are like, "Well, he was giving it to him." I'm like, I don't
Yeah.
care. I don't care if he came from the highest of highs or lowest of lows. The music is good. Like I can put on Cowboy,
yeah.
and everyone in my town goes crazy. Yeah.
Jam.
Midnight Train to Georgia, like
Yeah, get it going.
Cocky. I mean, I could list off a bunch of songs from him.
Literally.
I like him a lot though.
Yep, he's one that you could say what you want, and especially nowadays. I don't know how big of a fan I am nowadays.
I listen to old stuff though. It's still good. I
Yeah,
guess
it
I'm
is
still a
old,
fan. You know.
Yeah. And new wise, I don't know. I do like some of the new guys. Like I love Migos. I'm down with Migos.
Yeah, but now they're gone.
Yeah.
Oh, or what's his name? Takeoff or
Rest in
Offset
peace.
got
Yeah.
shot up.
Rest in peace.
Yeah.
Trying to think who else.
I can't even.
There's a lot.
I
There's
listen to so much old stuff. It's so hard to come up
Yeah.
with new.
I'm trying to think of the newest, hippest one. I really like Morgan Wallen. That's not one you
Yeah.
hear a lot, but yeah.
Last
he's
night
great,
we
dude.
let the
Yeah,
liquor talk.
even the album before that, right before he got canceled, almost like
yeah,
the Dangerous
the one
album.
he had the double album.
It's a banger.
Yeah,
every
the-
track,
every
on it's a
track,
banger.
every track you can play it.
Dangerous.
He is solid, and he gets so much. He fucks around. He's
Yeah.
our
He's
our age, dude.
yeah.
He's not gonna be perfect.
He's a cross-platform artist. Like he's
Yeah,
really doing
poppy
well with that.
to
I saw
country.
him live
Yeah.
not too long ago.
That's why I talked about Zach Bryan and Tyler Childers because
Mhm.
it's like those are traditional country. These other
Mhm.
guys, like, sure, if you want to call them pop country or hip hop,
Mhm.
whatever
Yeah.
the fuck it is, but like they're doing their thing,
Yeah.
and it's
I
you
love
can
it.
turn it on, and it's a
Yeah.
banger.
Yeah,
Like the
that's
beats are good.
I'm definitely not against the bangers. I love bangers.
No.
Like I'm about it. I was listening to "Dream Lover" by Mariah Carey the other day at the park, and yeah, that song
Yeah.
bangs still to this day. Same thing with "Fantasy."
Even Madonna.
Yeah,
Turn on
Madonna.
Madonna.
Mhm.
She's solid. Cher, good dude.
I got one song. I always listen to Alice Cooper at night on the radio because
Yeah.
he does 96.7.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he always got funny facts, and he's like he was getting ready to play Joan Jett. I love rock and roll,
Yeah.
and he was like, "Here's a song. She loved rock and roll so much she wrote a song about it." I was like, That's awesome.
funny. That's funny. Alice Cooper, man.
Shout out Alice Cooper.
Alice Cooper, like it's crazy because he's like
Old as
he
fuck.
old as fuck, and he knew what he was selling. It wasn't like that was his true persona. He was the first to come up with a persona, which is a lot of what people base their like rock and roll shit off of. It was
Yeah.
like, this isn't me. This is a show you came to see.
Yeah, and he's a show. Like his shows
Yes.
are gnarly.
Yes. He had that snake and shit. Like he'd be
Uh,
doing wild shit. Ted Nugent, same way.
Yeah, I got "Free for All" in there.
Yeah.
That's my favorite Ted Nugent song. "Free for All."
Yeah. I never heard it.
It's a free for all.
He was solid on guitar,
Yep.
man. He's on Joe Rogan
Yeah.
talking for like
Yeah,
5
say
hours
what you
about
want.
stuff. He's wild.
Is Uncle Ted to me?
Yes.
I guess.
Yes. He was a trip, dude.
Yeah, he's still kind of.
Yeah, he's still got wild stuff. It's all good. What about funk, man? I know you like a little. Me and you, we boogie shoes, right? Yeah. Yeah, not the funk.
I love it.
Yes.
That's just in our bones. Like, I don't
Yeah.
know, something about that. Something.
I don't know if that's our
Something.
parents or if it's just we
Something.
get down.
Something.
Because I remember me and you were always the ones dancing at parties and
Love
stuff.
it.
Like I love
Yeah.
the boogie down stuff.
Yeah.
You know.
I'm trying to think. I grew up liking. I don't know how really much funk they are, but Grand Funk Railroad. Like
Yeah,
they're
the funky
real good.
funky rock.
Yeah.
You know.
Everybody's doing a brand new dance now. Come on, baby, do the locomotive.
Yeah.
That song jams.
Yes.
It's good stuff.
We're an American band, dude.
Yeah.
We're an American band. Yeah.
It's jams.
We're
Jams
coming
all
to your
day.
house. We're here to party down. We're an American band, dude. Yes. I was listening. I keep jumping to other podcasts, but Joe Rogan was talking to Jelly Roll. You know Jelly Roll?
Yep, I'm getting on Jelly Roll a little
Yeah,
bit.
dude, he's solid.
What did he say at the Grammys? He's like, God let a loser win tonight.
Yes. He talks about just that music that gets you fucking pumped,
yeah,
man.
I like it. I like it that it's coming to fruition for
Yeah.
him. Like, I like Lainey Wilson. Those are
Lainey
new concerts.
Wilson,
I like
yeah.
it. I'm trying to think. I don't know. Country is doing good. Country is really good. Got a
Riley
good place.
Green.
And country has been
Yeah.
sounding more country than it has.
I think
in a while.
I think it's splitting right now. That's my part. Is like there's a part that's going very traditional, like Zach Bryan, Lainey Wilson, like these ones that are like we're gonna take this and stay with our roots. And then there's other ones like, you know, I haven't heard Thomas Rhett put out nothing in a while, but he kind of went that main.
It's funny you say that.
Yeah.
I was literally listening to what is it? It was one of his party anthems, and I just hadn't heard it in so long. I was like, "This is awesome.
Yes,
This is why
yes.
this was awesome." And yeah, I haven't heard
His
heard him in a while.
his song "Life Changes" that used to hit me really hard because he tells about how he's like we're gonna have our first kid and she's adopted from Uganda. That's right, we're adopting and she is the prettiest thing. And then he says, and then he talks about how his wife got pregnant after that, Ada J.
Wow.
He had his daughter Ada J, and then he had his daughter from Africa. And I'm like, that's so crazy because we weren't planning on a fourth child. And it's like, it's so crazy how life hits you with these things. And you're like, well, I'm going to figure it out. Life changes.
Fill
like
that cup up, bro.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
I
I just had that one. I can't remember his name. Hunter Hayes. I really was
haven't heard
kind
him
of
in a
fan of
while.
Hunter Hayes.
Yeah.
A little faith to fall back on. He's like, didn't treat my girl like she was mine. Didn't think I needed at the time. But she changed the way of thinking when she left. And it's just a good song. A little faith to fall back on.
Yeah,
Good
I
song.
like that. There's like it's like our history here, and then I showed you Mine in the Garage. Like it's all these albums we got. I remember, I listened to Casino and Goodfellas. You know those movies. So we'll jump into movies here in a minute, but I remember Can't You Hear Me Knocking by Rolling Stones,
Yeah.
and that intro guitar just going.
That rock and roll.
Bro, and it's like it captures that essence of that
Boom.
era. Like you weren't even living then, but you're just like, that's how it was. Like this hard nitty gritty shit. Yeah. Hey, you man knocking on your window. And like, or Layla, Eric Clapton,
Yep.
like, oh man, these songs were like capturing of the times, but they still speak out to us now.
Yeah, big
and
time.
I love that.
Yeah, I think that's where the day the music died hit me, because I had heard that song
Ooh,
a
yeah.
million times. I'll probably hear it hopefully a million times more. But yeah, I was listening to it and I was like, this is really a beautiful song.
Yeah.
I was like, I think he knew that when they wrote it.
Yeah. Yeah, they gotta have a feeling of this is gonna last.
Sometimes that's not the case nowadays. Some music you hear on the radio, it's just getting made.
Well, I think some music is just made for
And that's just how it
attraction.
is. Yeah, attraction. That's a better way.
Well, and beats are bigger now than the verses and people singing. You know, I mean, Queen. We were talking about Queen. How they wrote a lot of that stuff, and it was like, I don't know if it's not deep, but they were meaning to drive the crowd with what they were singing.
Time was
Bicycle,
limited.
bicycle. Like, so I want to
Put
ride my
it out
bicycle,
there.
but you're like, what the fuck? But yeah, I want to ride my
Jamming.
bicycle too.
Jamming.
Yeah.
Definitely a big one, influential. Leonard Skinner.
Oh yes.
I can't even say that.
LYNRD.
Yeah, the thing about Leonard Skinner, I didn't really realize it, but they put out more music in the 4 years they were a band than most people put out in a lifetime.
Yes.
And it's like they weren't around long. They
No.
were around. They lived and breathed and died that stuff. They were no joke.
They were pumping out albums, man. The Eagles did it too.
Yeah.
The a lot of they said the 70s they were it was the track to put out every 3 to 6 months an album.
Yeah.
And now it's like what, every year and a
Yeah,
half.
for
Like
something.
maybe you get something.
Yeah, yeah. Leonard Skinner, they've got some good documentaries out and movies. that
Yeah,
are
I
really
want to
humbling.
listen to the one. It's like Tuesday's Gone, I think is that the name of it.
Yeah, and a lot of their music was cool because like you think about what was coming out at that time, and then what they came out like. Even Freebird, it's like that's why Freebird's so crazy awesome
Yeah.
because it's like that song is I mean, it's about his girl.
They weren't
his
even
girl, or whatever. But it's like, or whatever it could be about. But it's just like different.
they
So,
weren't
like,
even supposed to be big.
they're
They
that
were
blue
literally
collar.
a swamp band
Yeah.
down there, and they just
Hitting
started
it,
hitting. Yeah.
hitting all the right notes in all the right
Yeah.
places. Like,
Bro, Call Me the Breeze gets you going. Like all those songs, Call Me the Breeze gets you going. Give Me 3 Step.
the old generation about Skinner.
Oh,
They'll
they
shut
think
you
it's
up.
yeah. They're like, fuck yeah.
Yep.
Every
Every time, and we were raised on it.
Yeah, dude.
That's what I mean. It's in my blood.
Yes. I remember even like Alabama, right?
Yep.
I showed you Alabama, right? But I remember I would go to the trout park with my dad in the morning, and I would hear like mountain music and stuff,
Yep.
or what's the other one they got? It's like it's Mr. Roosevelt was gonna save us all.
I think I know.
Mr. Roosevelt. Oh, it's like, Daddy got a job with the TVA. You bought a washing machine and then a Chev. A song of the South. Song of the South, dude.
Yeah.
It's like those songs. It's like I'm not even from the South, but you're like, it drives me. It's like that is solid, and it lasted through all these years. I love that about that music.
Dolly Parton working that 9 to 5.
You know her nails did that click clack sound.
Really?
She used their nails to do the like.
I heard Dolly doesn't go back to Branson. Dolly come back.
Yeah, get back here. We love you. She put out a new album. It's coming out in about a month.
Nice.
It's covers. It's all old covers. She just put out one of Let It Be with her and Paul McCartney and somebody else. Yeah.
Nice. When I think of old schoolers, I've had an awakening with Elvis recently, where I've been listening to Elvis and when I listen to Elvis, you know, you always hear Elvis was a gift. He was really a gift to the music genre, because I heard Charlie Sheen's dad, Martin Sheen, talking about it on some documentary. He was like, the thing is, he's like, you know, you got your people. Back in my day, we used to listen to the jukebox. He's like, and when we listened to the jukebox, you know, you were the little boy, the little girl, and you had your 10 cents somehow to go play a song. Well, that 10 cents meant the world to play whatever song.
Yes.
And, you know, we'd walk up, and you could play so-and-so, you could play so-and-so, and you're going to have people love, hate. But when you played Elvis Presley,
nobody's pissed.
No one was mad. He's like, he brought us together. And it was cool because Elvis was our age. He was like, and that's what that music was doing, was bringing us all together. And he's like, and that's why people, you know, you think about Elvis and his travels and his traverses, and it's like, it really makes sense. And there's one king of rock and roll. You know, there's a grandfather of rock and roll too, but there's one king, and it's Elvis Presley.
Yes.
And like, you know, say what you want about Elvis. Yeah, his later years, but you go watch his later years. Even when he opens his mouth,
he was the first to get that big.
Yeah.
Even Sinatra didn't hit those marks.
Elvis, he's a gift. And I love listening to Elvis. Every Elvis song I listen to, "Burn in Love," you know, even "Viva Las
Heartbreak
Vegas.
Hotel, dude,
Heartbreak
all that
Hotel.
stuff.
My favorite one is, "If I can dream, please let my dream come true." Right now.
Yeah.
It's a banger.
Me and Danielle, our wedding song was I Can't Help Falling in Love with You.
Yeah.
And then
beautiful.
And then also
that was my cousin's also. That's fine.
Oh yeah.
It's good too.
Well, even our favorite thing to do, we haven't had to do in a while, but if we are overwhelmed, our souls are crushed, we're just, you know, the kids being wild, we're fucked on money, like whatever. We go in the kitchen, we turn on that song, and I slow dance with her in the kitchen.
Good
for
stuff.
For a minute or two.
Elvis is smiling.
I love it.
That's what I really dig Elvis Presley. That's one that I don't know if I really was into it, but my grandma always told me, she's like, I cried when Elvis died.
That's what I hear, dude. A lot of people, it's sad, but it's true.
Yep.
We're gonna end on the mark of Elvis. Not end on it. I'm gonna step away for a minute. Okay, we'll be right back. Thanks, guys.
Almost like you could just blame society for ruining Michael. Like,
yes.
Like, it was like, and he was. You go listen to ABC or I think one of my favorite Michael songs. Oh.
No, you're good. I wanted to keep it going. Yeah.
We were just getting on to Lil Michael, another controversial.
We love Little Michael.
Yeah, Lil Michael. But I would say one of my favorite Michael Jackson songs. Yeah, like one king of rock and roll, there's one king of pop.
Yeah.
And that's Michael Jackson. Say what you want. But Black and White, Man in the Mirror.
Ooh. Okay.
Is really good.
I mean, Beat It.
Yeah,
and
Beat It,
Thriller.
bangers. Thriller is the
You know.
banger of all bangers.
You can turn it on around like Halloween, basically from
Yeah.
like September to like November, and
Mhm.
everyone loves it.
Yeah, I do love ABC. There's that one other one I'm trying to think of. It's another banger when he was really young, and I'm just
Oh,
failing.
Rockin' Robin. He had ABC. I Want You Back.
Want You Back. That's
Yeah,
one.
I Want You
That's a
Back's the biggest one. Yeah.
best song. Good one.
Yeah.
Bring
His
a
stuff when he
tear
was
to
older
your-
was good though. Like
Yeah.
his solo stuff was amazing,
Yep.
and his choreography will be
Yeah.
unmatched. You know.
that they say that the This Is It documentary. When I remember when that came out, it was probably around
I
2008
remember it was
now.
big.
And
Yeah.
it holds up. It's cool
Yeah.
watching it because it was the first time where he really peeled that veil back for
Really.
us. And it was like, yeah, growing up like him, that was like this, like Elvis, you're the superstar. Like
Yeah.
you're like the untouchable supernova. And yeah, Michael got put on that, and yeah, it was like, people don't even treat superstars like that no more. It's hard to
No.
reach that. But they were that at that time.
Do you find it hard? We were talking about this before, but with him, R. Kelly, you could even equate it to Bill Cosby.
Mm-hmm.
Is it hard for you to separate the music from the person?
Not too much. Not too much. Sometimes when I listen to some stuff, I'll listen to stuff and I can tell. I watched this really good documentary called The Silence of Nothing or something like that. Or it was about the convergence of hip-hop and skateboarding in New York
Oh.
City. And you would like it. I'll have to
Yeah.
take a picture, send it to you.
Yeah.
But it talked about because hip-hop came up, and there's a reason they don't play hip-hop past 10 in clubs, especially back in the day.
Yeah.
Violent. People would start fighting, and that's how it
Really?
was. It was violent. They didn't want to bring it to your club, and skateboarding showed up, and you got bands like Tribe Called Quest, you
Mhm.
got KRS-One, all these guys that were anti-gun, anti-violent, trying to preach that, and then you got people like Biggie Smalls that showed up.
Yeah.
And he was showing up right at the right time.
But he wasn't even push. Yeah. I don't,
And
yeah.
it's pretty heavy because,
Yeah.
there's that tendency. I'm not saying nothing against that, but there's like a lot of stuff because I like Biggie a lot. I like Pac.
I
like
love
all of it.
Biggie. I like
Yeah.
Pac's cool. I love Biggie
Yeah,
though.
but that's where people were getting on, like, are we going to sit here and fantasize? And I listen to the music that we grew up with, and it's like they're just
that was mild compared to what's now.
Yeah, so much fantasization when it's like it's just trying to get into your kids' ears. Like,
Yeah.
you could say, Eminem is a big one, and
You
yeah,
wanna
that's
see
why
me
he
stick 9-inch nails through each one of my eyelids.
yeah, and he put out Relapse, and all these good music, and it's like, it's
Yeah.
because that stuff was coming up. And you could say industry plant, you could say whatever. When I hear the real Slim Shady, my radio's getting turned up.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, sometimes I get rubbed wrong by music I hear because I'm like, is this legit or is it just trying to?
Yeah, it's hard
be
to.
out
It's
there.
hard, especially now. It's hard.
And
to,
I'm very real,
hard
where
to
I
fix
don't like
that.
listening to music that but then again, I like AC/DC, and yeah, AC/DC is, you turn it on, you're supposed to rock. It's
Yeah,
about
that's
rocking.
all. That's
Yeah.
all it is. Yeah.
And that's like, I don't try to hate on it, but that's where I would say maybe I cross that, where I'm like, I'll maybe talk some smack on a band because I'm like, they're not really about it. They're just trying to listen to it. But
Yeah.
still good.
I find it hard because I'm like, Michael Jackson. You're like, well, did he touch kids or not? And then you're like, well, you look at his life, it's pretty fucked up. But then you have R. Kelly, and you're like, he was just pissing on girls.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck, dude?
You got
And then you got like that
Buzz.
documentary about all these survivors of, and I don't know how much of it's true or false. Like and I'm not trying to say it's false. I'm
Yeah.
saying like, I don't know what's going on with that, but it's like this dude was obviously a bad person. It's the same with Bill Cosby. Did you see that? Man,
that's bummer for Bill Cosby.
Bill
Like, in
Cosby is
general,
fucked,
he's not
dude.
doing good.
As fuck. Did you see
Not
that
well.
Did you see the Chappelle thing? Chappelle's like, we had such a change in the world in the 1960s. JFK was going to lead this way with all these changes. He was against the Cold War. And he got shot down.
Yeah,
and so many others,
couldn't
like
imagine.
Malcolm X, all this stuff. And he's like, in this entire time of all these people trying to change the world, Bill Cosby raped 54 women.
Yeah,
I was
that's
like,
gnarly.
oh my God. But it's true. It's
Yeah,
true. And it's like,
true.
that's a bad person to me.
Yeah, man. And that's what I mean. That's where, exactly. That's a good point. It's like hard to really not.
Do you like
address
the
what's
Cosby
up.
Show? They don't play it anymore anywhere.
Yeah, that's what's hard. I don't know. I'd probably laugh at it still. I loved Kids Let's Say the Darndest Things, you know?
Kids Say the Darndest Thing.
Yeah,
You ever
that
watch
was
Whitest
Bill
Kids You
Cosby.
Know?
Yes.
Yeah. It's not PC anymore, but it's funny.
Yeah, I like that we're getting into this too, because these are like the hard conversations. Because then, like, you know, same thing. The movie industry with like someone like Weinstein, or like what's the comedic guy?
Do you know how many Weinstein Brothers movies there are? They're
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
Like,
And
he
that's
didn't
Hollywood,
act. He didn't do nothing.
supposedly.
He just funded it.
Yeah.
Okay, like, yes, he was a bad person, but like these movies are still good. I'm not gonna stop
Yeah.
watching movies.
And that's what I mean. It's just a really fine line, and yeah, it's basically wherever you put yourself on it, because you don't have to not like the content. You can just kind of be like,
No.
well, you know, this. Don't forget.
Yeah.
If you don't know now, you know. Like,
There's a guy in the Army. There's this guy named Audie Murphy. He was this amazing soldier. He got awards and stuff. Got battlefield commissioned officer. That's a big deal.
Mhm.
Was in movies back then, like John Wayne type shit.
Mhm.
Probably one of the most famous Army people back in the early 1900s, like mid 1900s. Does all this. Now there's a thing called the Sergeant Audie Murphy Club, or now it's the Sergeant Audie Murphy Association. Big deal. If you make it into it, you have a big medal you wear. That's supposed to be amazing. But also, he beat his wife. He was a womanizer, racist. Like, all these things are accounted for. It's like, okay, do we separate that or keep it with it? Like, what do we do here? Because he was an amazing warrior, but he had his problems. It's like,
Yeah.
well,
Well, that's the truth too. You know, that's where you kind of find the humanization of it.
Yeah.
And it can be, you know, it's not our place necessarily to pass that judgment, you could say, but it's up to you personally to see how you feel, and that's okay too. Talking about Mac Miller, yeah, like passing away of drugs, and it's like hard to stand next to someone that, like, you know, I tell kids like I like Mac Miller and stuff, and then or some of these artists that have passed away, like in our time, it's like, yeah, you know, it's. Are you a hypocrite?
Was it Juice WRLD?
Yeah,
Juice WRLD too
like
had
stuff
bangers.
Like that. Yeah.
Who were big ones back in the day?
So many.
No,
17
stop.
Club.
No, who's the guy? Breakdown. Go
Tom
ahead.
Petty.
Tom
Yeah,
Petty.
I heard he. Yeah. And
Prince.
Tom Petty. I love Tom Petty.
All
but
those
yeah,
guys were
Prince,
drug
yeah.
overdoses.
Yeah, exactly.
But like Prince, you know, a mountain of a man.
Yeah.
Tom Petty, legend.
Yeah, legend.
Legend in the rock and roll community.
Amazing
you know?
songwriter.
Yes.
Like, honestly, Tom Petty's one of those. I wrote my first middle school paper about Tom Petty.
Yeah.
And for some reason, I picked Tom Petty.
He was dope, dude.
Yeah, and yeah, I look back. I learned how to play "Running Down a Dream" the other day. And, yeah, dude, that song's a freaking ripper song.
Yeah.
And then not even like Tom Petty's one of those artists. When you listen to him, it's cool how he was the last true rock and roll pioneer. Like he really was. Like he was around and he was a dying breed. And when he died, we really don't have anyone.
Because he was trying new things with the guitar, whereas everybody else is doing 3-chord, 4-chord shit.
Yeah, what is that song? He's like, don't come around here no more. Like, you listen to that, and it's like so trippy, and it's like so before its time, and then it's like you forget that it's the same guy that wrote "Running Down a Dream."
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, like just running down a dream.
Yeah. American Girl.
Yeah, I play American Girl. I play it and I cry. It's like, that's a good song.
Yeah.
Like, and his guitar playing mixed with he is a songwriter. He was really good.
Who do you think the greatest guitar player is?
Oh my Lord. I don't know.
Yeah, here we go.
I would say on my hands, for me, Angus Young's right up there. That's my man.
Yeah.
He's the boy. He turned his boy into the man. That's why he said, I watched the document. I watched so much AC/DC.
Yeah, Bon Scott, dude.
Rest
My
in
uncle
peace,
used to have a
Malcolm.
documentary about Bon Scott. I watched when I was a kid.
Bon Scott.
Rest in peace, Bon Scott.
gnarly.
Greatest frontman of all time. I stand by this.
Yeah.
He beats Freddie Mercury. He was better. I love Bon Scott.
Bon Scott, I've heard that Back in Black, the lyrics to Back in Black was written and then he died.
Yes.
And then
they were about to record it,
Yeah.
and then what's his name?
Yeah.
Brian Johnson took over.
And he was, a long way to the top. If you want to rock and roll, that whole album, that was the first. Like, you had stuff. Just look at what bands were out during that.
Yes,
And then
dude.
if you can't tell me,
Yes.
if I would have been alive during there, yeah, I would have been listening to nothing but AC/DC. I wouldn't.
100%.
I'd been like, yeah, these guys are the best.
Yes.
This is what I want to listen to. And then to see what they became. Yeah. Angus Young's right there. Gary Rosington.
What's
Leonard
the one?
Skinner.
If you want blood, you got it.
Yeah,
is my
that song's
favorite
amazing.
AC/DC song.
Shoot to Thrill.
Yeah, Shoot to Thrill.
Love it. If you want blood, you got it. New school. I grew up a White Stripes fan. I know you love White Stripes.
I love White Stripes. Yeah.
First song I learned how to play was Dead Leaves on the Dirty Ground.
Yeah.
And that was because that was my favorite song, and I wanted to be like Jack White. I just wanted to be him so bad. And
shout out to the other guys for when they do the gunfight and Icky Thump starts playing because nobody fucking knew about Icky Thump before that came out, and I was like,
Literally.
and that drive of the drum going boom, 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 and you're like, yeah, it's about to go
I love
down.
the White Stripes. I love, Jack White is up there with most modern person I know.
What about Black Keys? You know them.
Yeah, I
pretty
love
well.
Black Keys.
Yeah.
Black Keys, their come up is really cool too. When you do their research, it's cool that they were trying. They recorded their first album as raw as it could get, and they're the best.
Their shit still sounds raw, and that's what I like about it.
That's like it's hard.
They're on that playlist.
Yeah.
That song I played you, they're on that playlist.
Nice. They're even the kind of band they're trying to get back to how they sounded that first album.
Yeah.
Finer things.
Yeah.
But
Go on the ceiling.
So awesome.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. I was at the club the other day, Boys and Girls Club.
I was like, what club?
Oh no, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, you
I
weren't
always
at
say
that
that.
club,
It's
bro.
funny. Well, I was hanging out with the kids.
Yeah.
And it was a day where we couldn't go outside, so I brought my guitar. I brought my electric because I knew they'd like that. And I was playing all my stuff, AC/DC, whatever. Nothing. They didn't like nothing. And then I started playing Dun, 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 dun. And every kid, didn't matter what age, started.
Yeah, it started bashing the shit out of stuff.
What is that?
Yeah.
And they were like, "That's 7 Nation."
And
Army. I was like,
it's
"That's
easy
funny."
it's easy to sing too.
I was like, isn't
it's
that
like simple,
funny?
yeah.
I was like, everyone knows that. Yeah, it's because it jammed. I was like, it struck a chord in the world. So I gotta say, the White Stripes is definitely up there with me. Arctic Monkeys was one that I got into.
I never was
late.
big into them. I heard they're good though.
Yeah, I got into them in Springfield, and they've kind of went the other. I don't know. I don't listen to them that much, but I really dug.
I think
like
they're
Arabella.
newish. They went the new route.
Yeah, I really dug them. They had that sound that I was like, I don't listen to a lot. Oh, I'll give you one right now. Skate Rock. In Skate Rock, there's a couple bands that like I posted on my Facebook. Just go listen to it. Grindline the band. Rest in peace, Mark Hubbard. Grindline the band. Grindline is also a concrete company that he was a skater that he started this company long before I was born. And they were trying to connect skate parks from one side of America to the other side of America. Well, he started a band, and it started off as a joke, and then he passed.
Yeah.
And luckily, they have albums out, and
good.
that's the best stuff I've heard in a long time.
I want to point out one at Crossroads with that. It's not skate rock, but it's punk rock. It's heavy punk. It's this guy, shout out, retired Command Sergeant Major. I'm an idiot. He's going to make fun of me now. Matt Henson. Sorry. Matt Henson, who is in Noise.
Cool.
He is, they got a couple albums out. I think they're not, they don't get together as much, obviously, because he just retired, but they're playing some stuff. But he has albums out that are solid as shit.
Yeah.
And it's that, like that, there's I can't remember the name of the song, but there's one I always listen to when I go to the gym. It's like, it has this that heavy ass like little guitar solo part, and then it just has that bum 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 like that, and then it starts with that distortion and that yo dun 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 ba ba ba, and it's like chaos, and then he's singing hard lyrics.
Love it.
But shout out Noise, they're solid. But I love that gritty shit of like,
you'll like
this
Grindline.
is how it is.
You'll like it. It's gnarly, but it's good. Another one that, rest in peace, Jake Phelps. He was like old school skater. He was the main editor-in-chief of Thrasher magazine up until his passing, and it was a drug overdose kind of deal.
Rough.
And he was like in his 60s, but he started this band called Bad Shit, and he's since passed, and they're just gnarly. They're just awesome.
Yeah.
And yeah, like it was funny. I think Flogging Molly. You know
Oh
Flogging
yeah, I
Molly?
know Flogging Molly.
Matt Hensley, the dude in that, he's a pro skater. I had no
Oh,
idea, and I was into
Jesus.
Flogging Molly way before.
Yeah,
I was
I knew
into
Flogging
skating.
Molly way back
And
when.
yeah, like when I started looking up stuff, I looked up Matt Hensley, and they're like, "Oh, his band is Flogging Molly." I was like, "Wow."
Yeah.
And yeah, guess what? They're from St. Louis.
Oh shit.
Yeah, he's like got St. Louis roots or Midwest roots or something.
That's dope.
Yeah, I don't know what it was, but I was like, wow, that's just cool that I was like, it's stuff that I'm into just kind of coming back around. And it's like, that's what I mean. It's like stuff hitting me
Yes.
later in life that I'm like, all right, that's really, yeah, that makes me just think about what I'm doing more. Like,
Yeah.
it's really cool.
I could talk to you about music
Yeah,
for fucking
dude,
ages,
music
dude. I
is-
love it, man. Cause I'm like,
We got to
you
go
get
to a
on-
concert together.
Yeah.
We got to hit something with
We
the
were
fam.
gonna Danielle and me got offered free Zach Bryan tickets in
Nice.
Idaho Falls, Idaho, but we would have had to fly there, and it was on a
Mhm.
Thursday. Like we got
Mhm.
notified 2 days before, and we are like, shit,
Mm-hmm.
because Danielle, shout out, she loves them, and I really
Yeah.
wanted it for her. I just couldn't
Yeah,
make it
dude.
happen.
Incubus is coming. To
Yeah, I
Ozark
saw
Amphitheater.
Incubus is
That'd
coming,
be a
yeah.
good one to go to.
Yeah,
Tech Nine's coming to Jeff City.
I'm good, brother. Side note, every soldier I tell, I'm from Missouri, I go, I'm from the greatest state ever,
Yeah.
Missouri, and they're all like, oh, and I'm like, you shut your mouths. Nelly's from here. He's a
Yeah.
treasure to us. And they're like, Nelly?
Yeah.
That's how I know I'm getting old. Is they're like, who's Nelly? I'm like, you shut the fuck
Yeah.
up. He was an angel.
STL.
I'm going down now, baby.
STL.
Yes.
Yeah, you play Nelly anywhere in St. Louis, you're gonna get told, better shut the hella up. I got a joke. How many St. Louis people does it take to screw in a light bulb?
How many?
Hella. That's horrible. I heard
Did
that
they
off
say
something.
it all the time up there?
Yeah, that's where I
Yeah.
heard from.
I think it's like a city thing now
Yeah.
as hella. I think it was old, bro. I think that was that when you were younger?
Mhm.
Yeah, it was because they made fun of it on South Park.
Yeah, I heard that on something else.
All right, we're gonna dive into another one here. Movies. We got a couple more topics covered. Me and Gus are just burning the time
Yeah,
away.
dog.
He's sweating right
Got my
now
big
at the
gulp.
shade. No, I want to talk about movies. So give me some top 3 movies of all time, because I know most of my top 3. Or give me top 5. Give me 5. You don't have to put them in order. Just give me 5.
I love Lords of Dogtown. That's like that one hit. When I saw that, it changed me.
I was gonna ask you about that if that meant
Changed
anything
me.
to you.
And I didn't
Yeah.
know much, but and then not next to Lords of Dogtown, but I'll say it again, Dogtown and the Z Boys, the documentary.
I
And-
heard about
yeah.
the documentary. Solid.
And the documentary, the reason it came out is because, you got to be careful when you're making a story because Hollywood will get your story.
Yeah.
And that's what happened. Stacy Peralta got a letter and it was like, "Hey, we're making this movie. You can be a part of it if you want." He was going to be a part of it,
Yeah.
but then he made the documentary. And that's why.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
so go watch the documentary if you really want to know the real trip. And the movie is good too. I think
So
that
what's the difference?
it's just the documentary is all the real footage, all the real stories. And Stacy was there. He's the guy in the movie, and he's all his friends. It's like, you're not gonna make this movie, and yeah, no one got paid.
They
for that
kind of
movie.
shit on
Yeah.
Peralta in the movie.
They really, and yeah, he was involved. He was involved in the movie. He may have got paid out, but even Jay Adams and a lot of those guys, they were just asked to
Yeah.
be cameos in their life. And so it's like he
Oh.
was like, not with my homies. I'm gonna go make something. And yeah, that documentary won Sundance. It did all this stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you haven't seen the documentary, go watch the documentary. I don't know. I used to I still make art, but I really like The Departed. We talk about The Departed all the
Ooh.
time. Scorsese fan. The Departed hit really hard for
Who
me
am
for
I?
some reason.
I'm the guy doing his job. You must be the other fucking guy.
Oh my god.
I love The Departed, man.
He's trying to think
Scorsese
about
always,
something.
every Scorsese movie I'll watch till the end of my
Like, is
days.
this reality TV? Love that. I rewatched The Shining recently, and The Shining used to scare the shit out of me.
Yeah.
It was terrifying.
That's because
It
Johnny
still
looks like
is.
Jack
Oh
Nicholson.
my god,
That's why.
right? Seriously. But yeah, I watched it recently, and I honestly just had a real cool experience watching it because you just realize every flaw or anything in that movie is on purpose.
Yes.
It's like everything. That movie is.
He is
And it's been like that for a long time.
one of the 3 greatest directors of all
Yeah,
time.
Stanley Kubrick.
100%.
That goes in. I don't even like too much of his movies. There's a couple other ones, but The Shining, I didn't really feel for. I watched it recently, liked it, and not
Yeah.
just as a horror movie, but like I was
No.
like, wow, this is a masterpiece.
Yeah.
Stanley Kubrick, though, I would say, for like Alien, like I love Alien. Like that's
I thought that was
really
Ridley
cool.
Scott.
Or Ridley Scott. There we go.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
was the one? Was there some with Kubrick and Ridley Scott or something? Maybe I'm getting
Something
mixed
like that. I can't remember.
up. Yeah. Ridley
I
Scott's
always
good.
remember A Clockwork Orange.
Yep.
Because Clockwork Orange was like
I've
the most
never
fucked
really
up to
watched
me.
it. I need to go watch it now. Would be a good time.
Yes, it's really fucked up,
Mhm.
but it is it's something I love. Like it shows the state of affairs in the world to this day. That was made in the
Mhm.
70s, and it's a good testament of like, you know, a lot of shit's fucked up, and people play into like, you know, I'm gonna ride the line, and then they ride it too hard, and then they just show how much control the government has, and it's a very deep movie. He had 2000. Oh, Full Metal Jacket, brother.
Yeah, that hits. Yeah.
Great. That's
I grew up on that
as a
too.
drill
Watched it later,
sergeant.
yeah.
It's
I couldn't imagine.
it's one of my favorites. There's a couple other ones, but I don't know any of these.
I'm
But
trying to think of just classics. Like I really love Back to the Future. Like I've watched it a few times. I saw it in theaters one
Back
time.
to the Future.
Seeing
No,
it in theaters really hit me again. Like,
give me your order of best to worst, though.
of Back to the Future.
Yeah.
I don't know. The best one is definitely the original.
Yeah.
Probably just in reverse order. Like no, as in like just one it got worse but I don't know, they're pretty fun. But yeah, Back to the Future, I saw it in theaters one time at a throwback theater, and I was like, wow, I bet that was cool to see that when that came out, because that was cool seeing it in theaters now. And I was like, I'd watched it at home a million times, but seeing it in theaters kind of hit it home.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's really hard with movies because there's a lot of good movies.
I really like Back to the Future. Do you like movies like, I think you'll appreciate it, like Blazing Saddles?
Yep. Okay. Yeah. Now we're getting into it with Gene Wilder.
Gene Wilder is like, to me, one of
Richard
the greatest
Pryor.
actors of all time. Richard Pryor.
It doesn't get better. It doesn't get better. Have you seen Hear No Evil, See No Evil?
Yes.
With him? Oh my
Dude,
God.
are you fucking deaf? Yes.
Yes. That movie I got introduced to late, but that is a hysterical movie.
So that's what I was raised on. My
That's
grandma, she
hysterical.
had this giant VHS library in the basement, and we would pick out movies, but she would pick out sometimes.
Yep.
And so there's a bunch of people don't know. There's Richard Pryor and Gene Wilder.
Yeah.
They made like 3 movies together.
Yeah.
It was Stir Crazy, Hear No
Stir
Evil, See No
Crazy
Evil,
too.
and there's another one I can't remember what it is.
Is Stir Crazy the one? Where's the one where they're going in the prison?
That's it.
and
they
he's
ca-
like,
they're-
"What
yeah.
are you doing?" He's like,
We bad.
Get
We
back."
bad. Yeah. Yeah. My mom used
It
to all
don't
the
get
time.
better.
We bad.
It's so funny.
Yes.
Like and it's still funny today.
That's why comedy back then is different now, because back then it was all like it withstood the test of time, and it's just supposed to be funny.
Yeah,
like there's
so
there's no
funny.
deep meaning to. I remember in Hear No Evil, See No Evil, she tells him, she's like, "You know you're black, right?" And he's like, "What? Does Dad know? I'm never gonna get a loan."
Oh my
He's
God,
like, it's
so
but like,
funny.
but that stuff is like, people are so afraid to make jokes like that now. But I'm like, that was a black dude making that joke.
Yeah.
Like sometimes it's okay if it's in context
Yeah.
of it. Like that's
He's
funny.
a funny guy.
Yeah.
He's freaking
Richard
hilarious.
Pryor,
It's hard.
what-
You
top-
ask people,
one of
they
the
say
top
he's
comedians
best.
of all
Yeah.
times. Yeah.
People will not even go without saying his name.
Him and
sometimes.
Chappelle are probably the greatest black
Mhm.
comedians of all time. They're probably 2 of the greatest, like top 5 comedians of all time, or
Mhm.
probably top 5, 10
Mhm.
of all time.
I'll
Like,
tell you, Kevin Hart cracks me up.
yeah,
says some
I like him
funny
sometimes.
shit.
He had some funny shit.
There was one thing that he had where he was talking about, it was his first comeback show, and he was like I don't know, he was like talking from his heart, and he was like, I just hope everyone knows that like the energy I'm feeling right now, you know, that I hope every one of you get to involve this. And he's a real cool guy.
He has a lot of energy.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm trying to think. I watched I don't know. I love the classics. I watched Fast and the Furious, the first one, the other day.
Yeah,
It's just
great
a
movie.
Classic.
They were
It's,
just
like,
stealing
so good.
TVs or some
So
shit.
good.
Yeah.
I love any good old movie.
Yeah,
Like,
I love Mel Brooks. We were talking about with
Uh-huh.
Blazing Saddles,
Yep.
like Young Frankenstein,
yeah,
History of the
Young
World Part
Frankenstein's
1.
So funny. That's
Yeah.
one people need if you haven't seen it too.
bro. Putting on the Ritz.
Yeah.
They're doing the dance. Ritz. Fucking Frankenstein, bro.
There's I
Have
seen
you-
a couple good movies. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Have you watched History of the World Part 1?
I would need to go back.
That's
Watch it
my-
once young.
It's so funny because they make fun of history. They're like, in the beginning there was apes, and they evolved to humans, and it's like bum 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 bum, and it shows apes like in shadows, like rising up, like praising the earth, and then they were humans, and they start jacking off. I was like, oh my god. I was like, it's such like raw humor. Like people get that.
Yeah, that's like I said, The Hangover early.
Ooh,
and yeah, like The
yeah.
Hangover, I will rewatch that, and it's kind of funny watching it now because we've gotten a little bit past that. Oh, and yeah, that's the part where the monkey's jerking off on their way to
yeah,
somewhere,
and then
everyone's
people,
laughing.
yeah, it was
He's
full
like,
circle,
everyone
dude.
thinks it's
Yeah,
funny.
yeah.
So funny. Let me think. The two newest movies I got introduced to by my girlfriend that I really love, Woody Harrelson and I feel so bad.
Woody Harrelson.
And is
it Wesley Snipes?
No,
Oh,
it's the
like
one.
White Man Can't Jump.
Why am I mixing? No, but that was a good one. The remake
Is it
not
the one
that
with
good.
Kevin Hart?
It's the one where they're playing cowboys, the Cowboy Way. If you haven't
I've
seen
never
it,
watched that
watch
yet.
it.
I've heard
will
about it.
Be one of your
Solid,
favorites.
yeah.
It's freaking funny, and it's old. It's old school. So it's
Yeah, I knew it's like 90s,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Another one, Joe Pesci. And I
Ooh.
wasn't really a big Joe Pesci fan, but I'm getting better.
Yeah.
Gone Fishing with him.
Gone
and Don
Fishing,
Glover.
bro.
Oh my gosh, that movie had me rolling.
That
I
movie's
watch
funny,
I
dude.
watch it all the time.
It's
And I
funny.
was like, that's one I put on when I don't got nothing to
what do
do.
they call it? Guilty pleasure.
Yeah,
Like it's like
he's
it's like
like-
people probably don't like this. I don't give a shit. It's
Yeah.
funny.
I think his character, Donald Glover's character's name is Gus, or no, and yeah, they're
One of them is Gus.
yeah,
Yeah.
he's pushing his boat, and they're like, they already lost the car, they already lost everything.
Old
They're-
dudes,
he's
man.
like-
It's
he's like-
funny.
he's like, hey man, he's like, man, Gus, it could be a lot worse still. It could be a lot worse. This thing couldn't have wheels, Gus. And he's like, you're right. It's just like so funny.
Do you remember Grumpy Old Men?
Yes, I just
Yeah.
Macy got me on that. and the
Yes.
second one's funny.
Oh, they're both
Yeah,
hilarious.
so good.
Ristorante.
So good.
Ristorante.
They don't make them like that. I'm so glad I got exposed to those late in life. I never seen them young.
Oh,
It's
really?
so
See, I
funny.
watched them when I was young, and
Yeah,
they
I
were
never
funny,
seen
dude.
them-
I thought
yeah.
they were like. I remember him getting like he in the first one,
So
he's sleeping on the
funny.
couch and he pulls out a sandwich and it's nasty, and the guy's like, "You want some?" He takes a bite of it. And I remember as a kid, I was just
So
like, "What the fuck? You
funny.
can't do that."
Like it's like that. They don't make them like that funny no more either.
No. I think I heard too, which is crazy because I cuss like a motherfucker,
Mhm.
but like they rely on cussing a lot,
Yeah.
and I'm like,
But it's like
Is that
cussing
true?
differently. Like,
but I was like, is that true? And then you hear some of it and you're like, maybe,
Yeah.
maybe some of
Yeah.
it. But I think people just cuss now openly. Like it's,
let's jump back into our generation. This will be my final
Yeah.
favorite movie.
yeah.
Super Bad.
Well,
I
super
love
bad defined us,
Superbad.
bud.
I love
Super bad defined us.
Superbad. You can watch that anytime now. It is still
I-
the
I-
funniest movie.
I would put that with Step Brothers.
Yes.
You can watch them
Yes.
whenever. But super bad, I haven't watched
Oh
in
my-
forever.
go
I can
watch
still
it.
quote it.
Just
No,
go
I can
watch it.
quote
It's
the
so
whole
funny.
movie.
It's so funny.
The randomest quote I ever have is
Yeah.
every time somebody does something
Judas.
without me, I'll be like, you know, make me eat by myself like I'm fucking Steven Glansberg, and they'll be like, and then I have to explain it, and they're like, what the fuck?
It's so funny. That movie, and I think it's cool because Seth Rogen and them wrote those characters off them in high school.
Yeah.
They were just too old to play themselves.
Seth Rogen also talks about how like
Mhm.
he used to think the more minute you got with the details, the more
Mhm.
people would hate it, but actually
Yeah.
people love it,
It was
because
so funny. And it holds up. It's so
I think I got Merlot on my pants.
Yeah, I did not.
It doesn't look
yeah.
like Merlot.
Yeah.
Fuck me, right?
So funny. So ahead of its time, even for being a late movie. Like, it's
Yes.
like you watch it. I remember watching it as a kid and being like, this is hysterical.
Yes.
And now it's like even funnier watching it as an adult because it's like, yeah, they made it when they were. He wrote it in high school, made it when he was an adult.
Yeah.
And it's like, thank God. Like,
Yeah,
it's so
dude.
funny.
It's an institution for everybody our age. Like we
Yeah.
thought it was like the funniest shit.
Yeah.
It was perfect for kind of us because we were going into high school.
Yeah.
So you're like, oh, it's
It's
kind of
so good.
And then it's perfect for kids in high school, and then it's perfect for college kids because they're like, oh
Yeah.
yeah, that's how it was. So that whole generational gap of 10 to 20 years was like
So
perfect.
fucking good. And Pineapple Express is pretty funny. I used to hate Pineapple Express. I
Yeah.
thought that was so dumb.
I never watched it.
I watched
I've
it.
never
I was like,
watched
it's
it.
so dumb, I thought, but it was
What the fuck?
funny. I see
Damn
the
chicken.
lizard. He's going for that lizard.
Yeah, he probably is, dude. Oh shit. Yeah.
Biggin. Where's the kids
Skank.
at?
Yeah. Damn chicken though. Get him, Duke.
Hey, cockadoodle.
No. Lay down. Lay down. Lay down.
Don't tempt old Duke.
Yeah, Duke. Duke won't go, but we say that he'll go, man.
Nice. Yeah,
Um,
that's what I can end on. Super bad, but we can keep going. I definitely.
I just
love
want to
movies.
ask because my like go-to movies that I could watch every day, all day, is Goodfellas and Casino.
I need to go back because Casino. Something about Casino made me want to watch it. I heard that the Goodfellas, and I've heard it wasn't because I got all research. I'd never seen Casino,
Yeah.
but supposedly they're intertwined. Like,
No,
because well, in
well, you got
Casino,
Scorsese.
what they say is in Casino, Joe Pesci always talks about sending money back to the family, sending back. He's like,
right,
back
but
to
they
the
did that
guys.
for every.
Yeah, and that's what
mafia,
that's what they said. But people
Yeah.
were starting to be like,
Oh, I
that's
don't think
them later.
so.
They moved away and then
Yeah.
they went and made a casino. And I'm
Bro,
like,
Casino is so. I don't know. Goodfellas is a masterpiece.
Uh-huh.
Like it is. I could watch every.
I
You've
need
seen
to-
it a bunch,
yeah,
right?
I've seen it like a handful of times, but yeah,
I've watched it probably over 100 times.
nice.
It's like Ray Liotta is perfect. You know,
Yeah,
he yells
he
at his
really is
wife all the
perfect in
time.
that.
Joe Pesci is like a good. He's so quiet and calm, and then he erupts like every time. Same as Casino. Casino's worse. He's probably worse than that.
Yeah.
And De Niro is De Niro.
Yeah.
De Niro is one of my top 3 actors of all time.
Yeah.
Oh, my last one I wanted to bring up to you. I say that we'll probably bring up more.
Yeah, it's going in.
There Will Be Blood.
Yep.
I
that's a
drink your
classic.
milkshake.
Yeah, that one goes hard.
I drink it up. It's
Daniel
so
Day-Lewis,
it's
shout
so
out.
fucked up, but it's so good. Like-
Any Daniel Day-Lewis, you're gonna hit a win.
Yeah, what's the other ones? Last Mohicans, solid. He had another one. Oh, Gangs of New York.
Yeah, that was one that hit me really hard young. I remember being like 13, being like, "Gangs of New York's my favorite movie." I don't even know what it's about, but I love it.
Yeah, yeah.
It's badass. Dead
It's
rabbits.
it's really deep.
Dead
Like-
rabbits. He's like, I'm gonna teach you to speak English with this fucking knife. It's like so bad.
Yeah. We're kids watching this shit.
I was
We're like,
like,
that's like the thing
It's
I want.
cool.
I want my I want my kids to watch movies like that, but I'm like, what's the right time to show them all this stuff? I don't know, man.
It's getting pretty old.
Yeah.
One day.
My grandma showed me. You ever heard of The Birds?
No, but that freaked a lot of people out.
It freaked me out. I watched it when I was like 6 years old. My grandma
Everyone's
showed me people
scared.
getting their eyes
There's
pecked
people
out.
still
and shit.
afraid of birds.
Yes.
Like I don't fuck with birds.
Yes.
Getting on the old schools like that. I watched Scarface not too long ago.
I've never seen
and
it.
you always hear Scarface. I was told at a young age that it was the best movie ever made, and it really is kind of one.
Vince
of those
always says
He
that,
really,
man.
I watched it on an analytical level, like where I was watching it, and even the beginning, he's like, "The world," that's not the quote, but it starts with a panning of his face, Al Pacino's face, and he's in a courtroom, and the reason of that is it's setting the tone because the movie revolves around him,
Right.
And that's like I was like, okay, I'm getting into this now, and yeah, you watch it, and I'm like, what was this supposed to tell people? Like, what is violent? But the thing that's funny is that there's no violence on the screen. You always see the blood. You always see it, and that's what it was the first time where they were able to really. And I think that I don't know if it was. I think it was R, but it didn't have to have an X rating or something because they were able to pull it off.
Right.
And it was like a cultural phenomenon because that stuff was going on.
Yeah.
And people didn't know nothing about it. But yeah, it's a really powerful movie when you watch it, like besides like the gun, like, like being young and thinking like it's so crazy.
Yeah.
But it's really good. And yeah, his Al Pacino playing Scarface, it was almost after I watched that, I was like, man, he's Scarface. I was like,
Yeah.
gosh dang.
Pacino's another one up
Yeah.
there. He's solid.
And then there was one other one I watched. Oh, the good one to watch at our age, Raging Bull. And yeah,
Ooh.
that's a
The first actor to
yeah.
ever pull that shit off. He was the
Yeah.
one to gain weight
Robert
and lose
De
weight.
Niro. And yeah, watching that movie, it was cool because I heard it was written about poems. A boxer would write poems, and that's why it's kind of a visceral-y movie. It's surreal.
Yeah.
But when you watch it, I think it has a lot to do with anger management. And
I see. Yeah,
learning
that's where
about
I look at it
anger.
as. Yeah.
And it was really cool watching it because you're just watching this man. And it's just a really cool movie. Like, I was like, it's really cool because I watched it late in 30, and it's really relatable. Like, it's
Yeah.
actually really relatable. And it's like, yeah, I see why that movie is so good.
Do you notice, this is kind of off topic, anger management. Do you notice that becomes a problem with, like, a lot of kids, like, that we grew up with?
Yeah,
Because
dude.
I have that problem.
Rage
I'll
quit.
admit that.
Video games are bad for that. Like,
I don't
they're-
think it's that,
Well,
though.
it's not that, but I bring that up because it's one of those things, like, it's funny how, at the Boys and Girls Club, they have stuff like that where we do video games and stuff.
Okay.
And, yeah, it's crazy when I'm sitting there watch a kid they get so mad.
Yeah.
Like, and it's like, yeah, I remember being like that. I remember breaking controllers and
Yeah.
just being that rage. And it's that's precursors to being able to not control yourself. And that's what's really hard. They start preaching that now with video games. And it's cool because that's what's cool. Our generation is like, now we're learning not to rage quit.
Yeah.
And we're learning, like, when you act like that, you got to get it right now.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's what we didn't have that growing up.
But see, I look at it as, I didn't rage quit a lot. I mean, I kind of did, I guess. I get pissed off. I never broke controllers, but I'd be pissed off, But pissed off, and when I get older, though, I get very violent.
Yeah.
Like, I'll be like, God, fucking
easy, dude.
But, I don't know about you. You've met Eddie Lake. He gets a little pissed off sometimes.
Yeah.
And as a young 20-year-old, I was like, I'm not going to be like that. Then you get older and life hits.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, fuck, this is what I know.
Boil.
This is how I do. And you learn that's the wrong way to handle shit. But I wonder if everybody has that, or if the kids that had, I don't want to call him, I love my dad. My dad is my rock. He's helped me through so much shit. But he has a temper. I wonder if I got that from him, or if everybody has this bit of a temper at our ages.
I think everyone does. It just is on different levels. Like, because it could be self-debauchery. It could be something where you're taking it out on the people around you. It could be something that you're being triggered. It could be something. It could be anything.
Because you always seem like the most stoic person I know.
But man, I have my moments. I have a boil over factor, and my boil over factor is something that you have to. What we're doing right now is the best thing you can do, talking about it, and that's like a conversation not everyone can have.
Right.
And you'll get it really quick when you try to have the conversation. Who's ready and who's not.
That's why I think maybe I said that about. I told you earlier, I was like, this is really good for me. I really like this. Maybe it is that getting the conversation out.
I've noticed reading helps me. I love reading, and I used to struggle reading. My comprehension of, I was a good reader, but it sucks when your reading comprehension is not good. Because I would love to read. I would read, and then I'd be like, well, Gus, what did you just learn? I'd be like, it would be completely different than what was being told, and then I would get mad because I'm like, maybe I'm just understanding it weird. And it's like, no, you comprehend things differently, and it's because maybe however you're wired, and it doesn't, it can come from your parents, but it's just however everyone's wiring is. And if you're at the point where you're wondering, that's where you should be. You should be not at the point where you're just letting it take you still and you're blaming things. Like,
do you find it when you read stuff that you're like, I remember the the important points.
Yeah.
I don't remember the little details.
My mind tends to want to like really just make something. It's creativity. Like, I read something, it gets my mind thinking like points and stuff like that. And so my comprehension, I have a hard time reading something, and then I have different views on how it is when it's like, no, it's pretty plain and simple if you just comprehend it correctly. But then again, everyone, you can read something and maybe it makes you feel a certain way, maybe it doesn't. But as a kid, it really sucks.
Yeah, it's hard because you're trying to actually do it for school, so you're like, oh.
It really sucks. But that's what I mean. I think we're living a good generation, like doing things like talking and stuff like that really helps. We have a big thing at the Boys and Girls Club all about that, just learning how to, talk out if you're feeling some way. And stuff like that. And that's things that I didn't get as a kid. I got, I don't even want to say what I got as a kid.
Yeah, you weren't told that.
I didn't know. And that conversation was never had, never was even. I can't blame those people or anyone about that because it is what it is.
It was how it was. It's like,
it was.
Yeah.
And being a boy, it's hard.
Yeah.
And that's what I think.
I'm a man.
Yeah, it's like, it's how it is. Yeah. But it is okay. Like, we live in a good time for that stuff. Like, this is a good time. People have tried to have those conversations I can. And usually when you're trying to, you usually progress a little bit.
Yeah.
Or find something. Like me, I go to the library now, and I'll just go sit at the library because it's like, it's just cool. It's calm. It's nice. And like what I do, skating, I do a lot of, there's a lot of not so nice, calm things in skateboarding. And that's it just is. And I like that. I like aggressively skating. I have a very aggressive style, you could say.
Yeah.
And I like that part of it. I like the danger. I like the master of disaster. I like that stuff.
Hell yeah.
Rock and roll. But it's it's hard when you're trying to manage it.
Yeah. Gus, this has been the best, man.
Man, you the
This-
best.
Well, Aaron,
Killed it.
I want to see. Would you mind playing us a song on the old guitar?
Yeah, dog. I can get one out.
Okay, I can set my mics up.
Yeah,
we'll play it and
let's
stuff.
get that. I'll try.
Yeah, you
I'll try,
guys.
try.
I'm gonna keep it recording. I'll pause all this shit, but you keep it going. I'll keep a mic so you can hear it. You know, in your headphones and stuff. So.
Play Green River. Let me see here. See if it's tuned up. I gotta tune her up really quick.
Oh, it's a tuner.
Yeah,
That's dope.
modern technology.
Yeah, modern technology.
Love it.
Hold on 1 second.
I might try.
Keep doing that.
I can play an original too. That would kind of be good on anger management. I wrote a song really from the heart when I was really, really feeling bad one day.
This thing keeps recording wonky on me.
And it's August. What's the difference between a piano and a tuna?
What?
You can tune a piano, but you can't tune a fish. Always tune up, don't tune down.
Hold on 1 second. Sorry, I gotta.
Here, you got her.
Okay. Let's see. Can you hear me pretty good?
Kinda.
Oh, that's
Let me come up a little closer. Hello, hello. This is an original one I wrote back in August. So it's August now. It was the middle of August when my world fell apart. I could see the light in the distance, seemed like we were worlds apart. We are the fuel to the fire, can you hear the sound of the beat of my heart? In the middle of August, while my world falls apart. There's still life in you, and I wanna help you find the way. There could be no shadow if it weren't for the light in the day. Light forth the shadow, will survive the heat of the day. I don't mind the darkness anyway. It was towards the end of August when life decided to meet. The sun from above shined all the gray from me, and I was complete. You are the fuel to my fire, the sound to the beat of my heart. And I will be there when the light meets the dark.
Brother, that was sick, dude.
I kind of messed it up. But
That was sick. No, that was fucking cool, dude. Dude, that was like a legit song. That was fucking cool. I was jamming out over here. You didn't see me. I was rocking out.
I messed up the lyrics a little bit, but I'll keep that one.
That's okay, brother. It was good, dude.
Should I do Green River?
Yeah, give me one more. I'll listen to it all day. Here, I'll turn
Take me back down where the cool water flows. I wanna remember all the things that I love. Oh, stopping at the log where the catfish bite, and I'm walking along a river road at night. Got them barefoot girls dancing in the moonlight. Eddie'd like this part. I can hear the bullfrog calling me. We can stop, see my whole rose hanging from a tree. How I love to dip my feet way down in shallow water. Shoot, fly, dragonfly, get back to mother. Gonna pick up a flat rock, skip it across the green river. Down at Cody's camp is where I spend my day, with them flat car riders and cross-tie walkers. I said, oh, Cody Jr., he took me over, told me that I'll find the world is smoldering. When I get lost, won't you come back home to Green River?
Yes. Yes.
As you're running down a dream.
Yes.
Hell yeah. It was a beautiful day. The sky beat down. I had the radio on, and I was driving. The tree blew by. Me and Dell were singing a little runaway, and I was flying. And I'm running down a dream that was never gonna come to me. Sky grew dark. Nope. Felt so good, like anything was possible. Hit cruise control, rub my eyes. Last 3 days, the rain was unstoppable. It was always cold, no sunshine. Dark, I put the pedal down, trying to make some time. There's always something good waiting down this road. You know I'm picking up whatever's mine, and I'm running down a dream. Woo, that was never ever gonna come to me.
Hell yeah, brother.
Rock and rollers. That's the taste. You gotta show up to Porch Fest next.
Dude, I gotta. Yeah.
I'm gonna come. I'm gonna come, dude.
I've been practicing.
After that, man, that was amazing.
Yeah, dude. Thank you. I was nervous as a Nelly, but
Oh no, dude, you were crushing it. I'm gonna post that if you don't mind. Yeah, that was. I at least got the last. I should have recorded all of them. That was so good though.
you got it. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll send it to you. Shit, man.
We ain't supposed to chill on the back porch all night.
Yeah. Oh, we about to. Yeah. Nah, man. I can't thank you enough for coming out, doing your thing. We're gonna do this again for sure. I really hope soon. So.
This man right here, tune in. Thank you, Ben. Like seriously, dude, you do a lot. You spread the love. Thank you for having me. I thought you'd never ask, but I knew you would.
Oh, this ain't the first. This is the first, but it won't be the last. Okay.
Amen.
So thank you so much, brother. Everybody listening, please be sure. I really hope you enjoyed this one. This was my favorite, probably. Like, subscribe, share, do everything you want. Okay. We'll see y'all next time.
Keem.